huge W to Feisty for sending out gifted memberships before we even got started. And then we have Sister Mary, I believe,
Sister Mary's here. Hey, first of all,
for
before all
becoming
of
a
that,
member.
I don't know why Ari's jumping all that.
Oh,
Can you
Chrissy.
hear us? Okay. Can we start with can you hear us?
Yeah, that would have been a better
Yeah.
start.
How
My
about we
bad.
start with that? We got plenty of time to thank people, but
Yeah.
we have to make
Oh,
sure they can hear us yet. First.
can't hear anything. No sound.
No sound. See, that's what we start with.
Let's see. Is that hello? Hello? Super low audio. They are quiet. Okay.
Can they hear us at all, or are you
They
just
said
low?
we're super low.
Is that any better?
Hello, hello,
Oh,
hello.
look, even right there, it's just low.
Yeah, it is picking it up really low.
Check, check, check.
Getting tagged. No sound. Wasn't it before that you had to mute? Well, no, that one didn't pull over.
No, it's just the output it's sending is super low. Slightly better. Well, I hold on. I'm adjusting everything. I'm adjusting everything. See, that's much higher. You can already see it. Yeah,
Oh,
you can already
goodness.
see it. There we go. You guys should be able to hear us a little better now.
Yes. Hello. Hi.
Well, let's wait for them to respond real quick.
It's good now. Slightly going up. Better. Boom.
Boom. See, guys.
There
Hey,
we go.
as I say, all right, we got to make sure everybody can hear us first.
Oh, who wants to hear us?
I think that's why they're here, actually, specifically for that reason. So I'm pretty sure.
No,
Guys, we're going to be
way.
working out a lot of bugs, okay? This is the first iteration of this, okay? Where's it? Hold on, I'm looking up here. Cameras, hi. This is the first iteration of this. So I got cameras in all sorts of weird places. We got microphones in all sorts of weird places. There's an entirely
Monitors.
new place that neither of us have streamed in yet. So we got a lot of bugs to work out. So please bear with us as we try to figure out how exactly all of this stuff works. But hopefully we can, even on this first try, deliver a pretty good product that works really well for everybody. So I'm glad to see that y'all can hear us now. So thank you so much. Also, I just realized, see, and as I'm already realizing, I forgot to add something in here. So that's okay.
Well, while you're doing that, since they couldn't hear me,
that's what I was trying to put up on the screen first.
oh, adding
That's what
that
I
in the
am trying
chat.
to
Yeah.
add. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well, Chrissy's is too far back, so I'll personally thank Chrissy for becoming a member on her own. If you guys are
Media source
preferential
plan.
to the landscape version of the live, we have
browser source.
yes, there it is. We have Polly's on landscape, and so is my Twitch on landscape. Twitch is Mermaid RE0. You guys can go there. Polly Politics is Polly Politics 1.0. If you guys haven't already given him a follow, we are also on his TikTok. You're on my portrait YouTube, and then obviously Twitch. Can you refresh my Twitch browser to make sure it is working? Yeah. There we go.
All right. Sorry, you guys know we love to throw up stuff on the screens and do all that sort of stuff, but I forgot to add that part into the live. Shame on me.
That was
shame on me.
right on my face. He
Shame
was
on
like,
me.
I don't want to see her face. I'm kidding.
Now we can see it. What's going on, Bishop? Yeah, Ari is slumming it with me today. I hope you guys can survive it. We will make it.
My microphone's in the way of my... Sorry, guys. I'm going to geek out for a second.
Put it up top.
Look at this cute little thing. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Hello.
There we go. That's a lot better.
You got to see my little
we didn't
squiddy.
bring up the phone.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, yeah, I did. It's behind everything now. On my browser. Would you like me?
Hold on. You guys are saying no sound now? Hold on. Hold on.
Who says no sound?
TikTok is saying no sound. TikTok is saying no sound.
They are. Oh.
It's
Oh.
okay, dude.
I know what
got it.
happened, or I think.
It's fine. I just need to be able to move this thing eventually. All right. Let's work with that now. And
I have to remind myself not to tell him how to do anything because he's gonna figure it out. And my brain says fix things. It doesn't like this. So I have to sit back and just accept things and not look at it. So I'm looking at the cameras and not the monitors. This is a lot to deal with, everybody. Thank you for joining us in our weirdness. Wasn't it the default or A1?
it was B1.
I think you're right.
Let's check that out. Check, check, check. Can you guys hear me in TikTok land now? Because I'm showing that you can. There we go.
There
See?
it is. Yep.
Well, you guys over there on TikTok didn't hear me say it while everybody else did. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it again. Okay. This is the first time we're doing this. Okay. So there's gonna be a lot of bugs we're working out as we try to go through this. So we apologize in advance. Okay. But if you guys could do us a favor, just like always, please, you're coming in, hit that like button on whatever live you're on. Hit that, double tap that screen if you're over on the one that does that, right? And get the numbers up. What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother? And get the numbers on all of that. As we're trying to work these things out, we're really trying to do more content that's like this, that's dual, right? And also that we can have conversations with each other, have conversations with y'all, and still be able to have conversations with callers coming in. So this is the first time we're doing it. So, hey, like you see, we're missing audio on certain spots. We're jumping all around here. But that's okay. That's okay. This is working out. I think we're okay, aren't we? You're both here? Yes, we're both here. Watch. I can woo, see? We are both here. Can I get rid of this gift giant thing? It is in the way.
More chat settings.
You're awesome.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. We'll fix it for later.
No, you won't do it.
All right, anyways, so welcome in, everybody. We're just getting this thing started. We're just getting this thing going, so really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day out there. We are seeing people start to filter in. As Ari quite mentioned just a second ago, we are running both a landscape and a portrait live over on YouTube. The normal live is on TikTok and on Twitch. So you'll see it on my account on the TikTok side and on the landscape live over there. And you will also see it on Ari's for the portrait live on YouTube and on the Twitch side. So we have everything going on right here as normal. Except for the fact that I left Summer outside right before I got online. So I have to go get her in a second, okay? But while we're doing that, I think, Ari, you have some people to thank, so you can jump on over there.
All right, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. All right. So let's go through some of these. W again to Chrissy for her membership over on the tubes. Feisty, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships to start off the live before we even had it going. Bishop, thank you so much for the bits. Yeah, definitely slumming it with Polly today. He knows it too. Thank you, Disaster, for all of the jewels. Thank you for the jewels. Hi, Ari and Polly. I see Polly's dressed for the occasion. Yeah, he is. His shirt literally calls himself a psycho. He's not though.
A Psycho Bunny, actually. So
It's
I'm like,
a brand.
it's kind of like the Easter Bunny, but like the Halloween version is something like that.
Also, let me do this. We're just gonna pop up my. Well, you don't pop up the backup yet. My bad. Whatever. Hi. Oh, sorry. Glitch code wasn't trying to skip you. I think you're on. Yeah, you're over on Polly's. Welcome in. We love you for being here.
Hey, Glitch, how you doing?
We're all doing fantastic. Hi, Ari, looking lovely as always. And
We need L's in the chat for Megan.
yeah, I'm.
Can we get L's in the chat for Megan?
only on Polly's side? If I see it
No,
on my side-
everywhere.
Nope.
All
nope.
L's for Megan. Thank you. If I don't see L's, I'm muting anyone in any chat that doesn't do L's for Megan right now. That's what I'm doing. So
He's lying. You already know I'm gonna do collaborative commercial for Ground News. Bishop loves some Ground News. Ari, the best. She said it again.
Wow.
L. Polly.
Wow. I'm catching all the freaking strays
Yeah,
today.
just from Megan.
You know what? I'm catching all the strays
Thank you for the
today.
jewels. Christina,
I
thank you
see
for
you
the jewels.
cruising. You better watch it.
Snap. Someone jumped in.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, snap.
All right. Well, as normal. What's up?
Sorry, someone was asking. Just a friendly reminder, guys. If doesn't matter whose channel you are on, landscape version will be Twitch and Polly's YouTube. Couldn't think of it. Polly Politics 1.0 over on YouTube. All of my handles except for TikTok are Mermaid Ari 0.
So, yep. So, I need that phone someplace. I don't
Somebody
know.
said L Megan, not sure why, which is hilarious.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to know why it's an L Megan. Okay. The important part is that it is L Megan. Okay. So, y'all, I'm already seeing some phone calls coming in from quite a few people. I really appreciate that. I think that that's awesome, right? Hopefully, it's from people that have been, you know, they've gotten, you know, they've gotten it from you or me, and now they're just like, you know, what we really need is from both at the same time.
Glutton for
so I
punishment.
completely understand that. Yeah, I think it might be masochism, but I'm not sure. So we are going to jump into some phone calls in just a second.
Love you, Corey.
We are going to jump into phone calls in just a second, but I'm gonna let you guys know right at the bat before we even get this thing started. If y'all haven't watched that Josh Johnson on the Vanity Fair thing, y'all, like, as soon as we're done with the light, don't go now, okay? Now you're watching us, all right? But if you guys haven't watched the Josh Johnson stand-up on the Vanity Fair thing, please, for the love of God, go do that. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely hilarious. We were watching that right before we got on live, and that was great. That was so funny. Just
That, and I also just, sorry, this is my brain working. I want to let people know that it's much easier for Polly to look at his camera than it is for me because his are right under the monitors.
that is correct, yes. But
I have to make an
I don't know
effort.
what you got going on over there, you know.
Oh, what? I can't even tell whose chat is whose anymore. except for
Exactly. I don't even know.
Twitch.
We don't even know
It's
over there. So
crazy.
all right. So let's go ahead. Honestly, I don't even have my headphones plugged in yet. Gotta get that
Oh,
going.
I thought you had plugged them in.
I plugged them in on one side, not the other.
Yeah. But yeah, those cord protectors should be in soon. Oh, yeah, hi.
Oh no, there's an echo.
Oh. That should fix it. There's going to be no account for the fact that they can hear me through yours.
Yeah. Hopefully, you guys aren't hearing an echo over there, are you? Because I can deal with it. Right. I can deal with a little bit of echo. If the echo sounds good over on your guys' side, then I'm fine. Nope, no echo there, no echo there. All right, perfect. Perfect. I can deal with a little bit of echo on my side. These are just some things we're going to be working out, so I'm not even worried about it. But, all right, if you're ready, we're going to go ahead and open up these phone lines, get this thing started. What do you think?
Yeah, bring on my backup
All
on
right.
Tiki Talk.
All right, we'll do that first. We'll do that. I could use about 3 more screens. I think that would actually be pretty helpful. It looks like I'm in.
We'll figure it out.
I feel like I'm in Minority Report over here, just like. I feel like I'm in Minority Report over here, just like moving things around and getting things going. That's pretty wild. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. So, how old are you?
I'm in my mid-30s.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Of course.
Awesome. What's on your mind today?
So I think that, when you're picking between the two parties, right, you can always think about it as I'm voting for this party or against the other party. And I think that over and over, the Democrats have signaled that they're not really worthy of support. This massive amount of fraud coming out of Minnesota is just like the latest example of this. But, even though the Trump administration isn't perfect, I think that when compared to the Democrats, it's a pretty easy choice.
So let me be clear. You are saying that due to fraud in Minnesota from people that you have no idea whether they're Democrats or not is the reason not to vote for Democrats, while at the same time supporting Donald Trump, who has literally been found like that, adjudicated a fraud.
So not exactly. I brought it up as the most recent example. And whether or not the individuals committing the frauds are Democrats is kind of beside the point. I think that what you see is that there's a reluctance, even now that it's been exposed, among Democrats to speak honestly about these types of things. They put values like, preserving community relations above telling the truth, right? So because it would reflect badly on what they view as a vulnerable immigrant community,
Hold on.
they don't
Just to
speak
be
out
clear,
against it. They
hold
look
on,
the
hold
other
on, hold on.
way,
Right? It
and then
seems like you're
billions of
just,
dollars end up going missing.
sir, hello. It seems like you're ignoring the whole part where Donald Trump is a fraudster. Okay, because we can talk about the Somalians. I have no problem with that, right? Like we can talk about the U.S. citizens that were Somalians that committed fraud, and I think that we've all been very, very clear that what they're doing is bad. I think the Democrats have been very, very clear that what they're doing is bad. I think that Tim Walz, even the governor who's a Democrat, has been very, very clear that he's against it, that they are supporting the prosecutions of these criminals. We think all the way across the board. I don't think I've seen a single Democrat anywhere that was like, "Oh, this fraud stuff, that's really, really great. I can't wait to have it. That is
No, they're
absolutely
calling it
awesome."
white
Nobody's doing that.
supremacy. Tim
But
Walz called
why
it
are
white
you
supremacy to look into
supporting
it.
Donald Trump, who is convicted of doing fraudulent paperwork? And he is a felon for doing that, sir. It just seems very disingenuous that you think in any way, shape, and form you're going to convince me that the reason why you support Republicans is because fighting against fraud when you're literally supporting the person that does fraud.
So are you talking about the falsification of business records case?
That would be considered under fraud, yes.
So it's actually not traditional fraud. So fraud usually requires an inducement element, meaning that you're inducing someone to confer some benefit to you, right, which was absent from the jury instructions in that case, right? What you're talking about there is a paperwork violation, whereas what we're talking about here is billions of dollars. Like, and you're trying to equate these things?
What was the just out of curiosity, if you know, what were the 3 pending cases, or not really cases, but the 3 allegations against Donald Trump that the jury was instructed to consider? Do you
Right.
know?
So there, for the enhancement statute, there were
Predicate, that's what it
3
is. Predicate
possible
cases.
other, predicate offenses, they refer to them. So one of them was a federal election law. There was a state election law. And I think that the third one was a state tax law, because Donald Trump ended up
Federal
overpaying
election
in taxes
law
by
about
labeling it as a.
specifically fraudulently utilizing campaign funds.
So wait, is your understanding of that allegation that he fraudulently used campaign funds? Is that your understanding
That
of
was
what happened?
what they were. That was one of the predicate crimes they had to consider, was fraudulent use of campaign funds.
It's not fraud, right? You're just misusing that term. I don't know if if you have any background in the law, but it's not fraud, right? So the argument was that he should have declared this as a campaign expense, right? But Brad Smith from the FCC came out and clarified that they use a categorical approach.
Yeah, sir, I'm sorry. I don't need to be like in the background of fraud to know what fraud is, sir. And I think it was very interesting that you used the traditional form of fraud, right? You made specific to identify what type of fraud you were talking about, because if you use a generalized version of fraud, that Donald Trump immediately falls underneath it, right? This was literally called the fraud case. Like, that's what they call it. But we don't even have to worry about that. Hold on, sir. We don't even have to worry about
maybe
that.
by dummies.
We
It
don't
was a
even have, sir, we
falsification
don't
of
even have
business
to worry
records
about
is the
just that
actual
case,
charge.
sir. If that was the only case, then maybe you got a little gotcha here. But he's been sued for fraud thousands of times, right? Like, this isn't like a certain thing. He literally frauded a children's cancer charity in New York for hundreds of millions of dollars, in which he had to pay back, I believe, $400 million for fraudulently moving money from a children cancer charity into his pocket. Literally as traditional of a fraud as you can possibly talk about.
I don't know the details of that case, and so I can't comment on it, but I'm not
the details of him
going to
stealing
just
money
take
from
your word
cancer
for that.
kids.
Defrauding banks by misvaluing Mar-a-Lago. Which one do you want to go down? He's literally been convicted of fraudulent things at least twice. One, but that doesn't suit your definition or your understanding of what fraud is.
Sure. So are we now drawing an equivalence between someone overvaluing their assets to get a loan from the bank, which they repaid, and an immigrant group stealing billions of dollars from the American taxpayers? Are we actually equating these two things?
Sir, those don't have to be equal whatsoever. I'm not equating them in any way, shape, or form on that. What I'm saying is, you're saying that you vote for Donald Trump to stop fraud. Okay, that's what you're saying, and you're
No,
trying to you're saying
not
that.
exactly.
Well, that is exactly what you're saying, sir. That is exactly what you said. You said the Democrats have a willingness to accept things like fraud. That is what you said. You made the comparison of
Well, I think
the
that what I
Somalians
said was that the
in
Democrats
Minnesota, which
prioritize community relations over like telling the truth, right? So because this fact would reflect poorly on this community, which they view as victims, obviously I view this community more as perpetrators, because they view them as victims, right? They don't want to speak ill about them, right? And so then they just lie and look the other way.
you mean like when the Trump administration refused to release job data for literal months because he knew the economy was crashing? You mean that type of thing?
Sure, yeah. I mean, like hiding data is one thing. I think that covering up for crimes against the American people is another,
You mean
right?
like
Hiding
refusing
the.
to release the Epstein files?
Oh yeah, that's a
I
good
think that
one.
he should. I think
Yeah,
he
but he's
should.
not, and you still support him.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, it's like there's plenty of things to criticize Trump about, right? But again, like, this is a team sport. You have to pick team
It's
A or
not a
team
team
B,
sport.
right? And one of the when one of the teams
When
is
did
so
politics
far off the
become a team
reservation,
sport? Is
it's like
really
I would
my
vote for Trump
question.
for like it's like I mean the
Hey,
Democrats could
where's
win me
the?
back. You know,
Can
I
you
used to
tell
vote
me where I
Democrat.
can find the RNC and the DNC football teams, and when do they play at what stadium? Is it in the White House itself? Is it in front of the White House lawn? Guys, this just in: RNC, DNC football teams playing in front of the White House lawn. Who's there to see it?
Yeah,
So
politics isn't
my
a
point in
team
bringing up that
sport,
it's a
sir.
team sport is to point out that you can either conceptualize your vote as voting for one team or against the other team because they are in competition with each other, right? So it's like I can acknowledge the shortcomings of Trump, right? But when presented with the alternatives to vote for a Democrat, right, it's like it's not even
Okay,
close,
what
right?
Democrat
And this is
can
one of the
take?
problems of having one party that's so far off the reservation like the Democrats is that like bad candidates like Donald Trump will continue to win.
Sir, nobody is forcing you to pick teams. You're choosing to do that on your own.
Of
Okay.
course,
And
look, I want my vote to
you're trying to
count.
say other people are forcing you to do that because you have done that. You have chosen. See, here's
No
the
one's
thing,
for.
sir.
I
Here,
didn't use the word force at all.
yeah. Let me be very clear, okay, sir. Are you a fan of sports?
Yeah, I like sports.
So you're a fan of sports. So I'm a huge NFL fan, right? I'm a big fan, right? So I was just asking you if you're the same way because you're equating it to team sports. So let's talk about let's talk about team sports, right? You still there, bud?
I mean, it's an analogy, right?
Yeah, sure. So what is the word fan short for?
Fan, like a fanatic.
Fanatic. There you go. The word fan is short for fanatic, right? And the reason why it's that is because it's without reason, right? Like I would get incredibly upset when the Chargers lose, right? The Chargers don't give a shit about me. They don't care if I live or die tomorrow, right? If I disappeared off the planet, the Chargers wouldn't know I cared whatsoever. Yet I spend friggin' hundreds of dollars on merch on them. I pay to go to their games. I watch all of their games, and I feel an emotional connection to them, even though they care nothing about me. Right? That is what you're equating it to when it comes to politics. All right. You are literally giving your emotion, you're giving your thoughts, you're giving your mind, you're giving all of your stuff, you're spending money. People are buying, flags and hats and t-shirts and all this sort of stuff because you think you're a fan of a team, and that's not what this is, sir. If the Chargers stopped existing or Chargers started doing something bad tomorrow, it doesn't matter for any Americans. When Donald Trump starts doing bad things like he currently is, people die. Okay? People are hurt. Right? You need to be able to think logically about this, not like a fan. You need to be able to think about
But
it in
again, I feel
just
like you
a
guys are
serious thing.
misunderstanding what I meant by it's a team sport. What I meant is that there
No,
are two parties in a two-party system who
nope.
are competing against each other,
There's not
right? So
just
one way
two
that you can
parties.
exercise political influence, like the way that you can use your vote, is to vote against bad behavior, right? And I
Oh,
think that the
bad
Democrats have engaged in
behavior.
a
And
lot
who
of really
gets
bad behavior,
so and so
right? So I
here's
will
my
continue to
issue,
vote
right?
against them as long as
Okay.
they organize
You
against my
can
interests.
yeah, I get it. Get for your personal interest. Here's my issue with somebody that just starts off automatically and it's like, well, I still support Trump because the Democrats did XYZ. Congratulations, you're a damn sheep. Bah. Like, then you have no thought process on your own. Actually criticize the president of the United States, effectuate your support in Donald Trump by talking about the policies that he's instituting, the actions that he is taking, instead of crying about the party that you were never going to vote for in the first place. It's fucking bullshit and also kind of pathetic.
I don't know what
Oh,
if all the insults are really necessary. We're just having a political conversation. I feel like that's kind of detracting from the point. Again, I think that voting
oh,
against bad behavior is
nice sweet
totally
face.
legitimate. You saw a bunch of women who were mobilized to vote in 2022 after Dobbs overturned Roe v. Wade. Right, they were voting against what they thought was bad behavior. That makes total sense to me. In the same way, the Democrats have totally lost the trust of a huge
And yet
swath
the
of the
house
American people,
flipped
and they
anyway.
seem totally unable to course correct. So unfortunately for them, until they figure that out, they're going to continue to
Yeah.
lose national
Why was
elections.
Dobbs
Is
over?
how it
Why,
is.
who effectuated the Dobbs decision?
Well, I
You're
mean,
awesome.
technically the Supreme Court, but it was done
This
by Trump's appointees.
perfect. So we're talking about Donald Trump's bad actions, right? You're talking about
Correct.
the criminal actions of people that hold no part of the Democratic Party, that have
So it's
nothing to
not
do with the
only about the
Democratic.
criminal
Sir,
actions; it's
sir,
about the. So
you
do you think
no
that
no sir sir
you think
sir
that there
sir
were no
sir
red
sir
flags?
sir
That
sir
no one in the government in Minnesota had any idea
sir.
that this was happening?
Yeah, there
Billions of
was
dollars
tons of
going
people
missing.
in the government that had an idea that was happening well before Donald Trump made it a personal vendetta to go ahead and talk about it. There was tons of people that were investigating in this, making them like putting together entire cases in order to make sure that they were investigated and put in jail. That's exactly what they were doing, right? While on the total other half of that, and again, we're not talking about Democrats at all. We're talking about Somali and U.S. citizens who have no idea what their political leanings are, prosecutors who are completely non-political, right, and only work within the judicial system, right? So have nothing to do with any of that, and you are relating all of that to Democrats when you have no idea of any of the people. If there are people that were looking away, there were people that were doing something, where there are people, you have no idea whether any of them were Democrat. Well, I directly talk about the head of the Republican Party who just pardoned someone who was funneling money through his crypto company to fund Al Qaeda
You're
and Boko
awesome.
Haram. Okay, you are talking about people you have no idea if they're Democrats and trying to relate it to Democrats, while I talk about actual Republicans. So if you're going to talk about somebody doing fraud and you have a problem with fraud, then how about you talk about actual Democrats, and then maybe we can have a conversation on what they're doing wrong and how you're voting against that. But until then, you're still the one that voted for a 34 times felon. You're the one that still voted for adjudicated rapist.
Proudly,
You're still the
yeah,
one who
proudly,
voted for somebody who's been sued over 4,000 times. You're still the one who voted for someone that
proudly.
defrauded a children's cancer charity. You're the one that is supporting that person, not me. I'm not supporting that person. And you trying to do this backdoor little, oh, I'm going to try to make these Somalians about the Democratic Party is just really just a sad attempt for you to try to connect the crimes that your president is actually doing, the crimes that your person is actually doing. You're trying to connect those same type of things to the Democrats. And since you can't find a Democrat that's doing that we haven't already ousted, you have to try to find people to do that.
To be clear, I'm only bringing up the Minnesota example because it's in the news right now. I didn't only become a Trump supporter this week. This is just the latest iteration of the Democrats dropping the
Okay.
ball, right? But you can go back the last 5 or 6 years, and it's just L after L after L. They lied about Black Lives Matter. They overreacted during COVID. They, promoted the Black Lives Matter race riots during the middle of the pandemic. They
Actually
lied
said.
about Joe Biden's age.
Can you
They
pause?
systemically
You
discriminated against
literally
white
didn't.
men.
No one lied
They
about
That's
his
shown
lied
in
age.
about
Compact
his
magazine.
age. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The
you can make that
Republicans were,
shit up?
yeah, the Republicans were like, "Hey, Biden's were like is like 80," and the Democrats were like, "Nope,
No,
he's
64.
63. Yep, he's 63 years. He's 6'7". He's 6'7", guys."
Oh, is that where 6'7"
That's where
came
6'7"
from?
came from. The
Holy
Democrats have been
crap.
lying about Biden being 6'7" the entire time. We can't even get his age right.
Apparently not. Now, I'm going to ask you one more time, person on the phone, okay? How about you bring up a policy that Donald Trump has enacted instead of crying about the Democratic Party? Are you capable of doing that? I asked you that about
Yeah, of
5
course.
minutes ago.
Yeah, of course. I think that he's doing a good job at the border. I think that his actions on DEI are like legendary. He's already goaded for that. Let's do DEI first.
Oh no, I'd rather do immigration first. That's a lot more fun. I
Um,
mean, if you want to do DEI, that's fine. That's your funeral, man. But
I literally have
it's my funeral. How's that my funeral?
oh, cause all right, fine. DEI. What's your problem with DEI? Go ahead, bud.
So DEI, which I'm going to use that term interchangeably with the term affirmative action because these are
No,
just two.
you're
You
automatically
absolutely will the
wrong.
fuck not.
They're
And then
rebrands
also,
of the same.
just
No, they
no,
are the
it's
same thing.
oh, okay. So you can explain how it's the same, but also tell me the letter that you're missing off the acronym. Do you know?
Are you talking about DEIA?
Correct. Now, what is the full breakdown of the acronym?
Diversity, equity, inclusion, and access, or ability.
Accessibility.
I mean,
Okay,
disability, yes, for
perfect. So he
disabled
does
people.
know that much.
I just can't wait for him to freaking tell me how DEI and affirmative action are the same. This is gonna be great for me.
They're exact, and he's not only are they the same, but he's utilizing them interchangeably.
Yeah, beautiful. Why do we even
Right,
make different
because
words for
I mean,
them,
so
right?
affirmative
Might as well.
action, like that comes from Executive Order 11246, which thank God Trump overturned. And this instituted an affirmative
didn't. Can you
obligation
tell me
upon all
exactly
government
how he?
contractors
Finish. Hold on, I can't
to,
hear him.
essentially do DEI. And our entire both affirmative action and DEI, the way that they function, is to make sure that employers or institutions are not hiring too many white people, even on accident. And if you violate that, then you expose yourself to civil liability or potentially loss of government contracts in the case of government contractors. And I think that's obviously not good. If so it's like someone like me, I'm an upwardly mobile straight white guy. Right? Can you explain to me how DEI is good for someone like me?
I just love how he was like, white people. How can I explain how DEIA is helpful to someone like you? Well, if you have a disability, that would absolutely help you in the workplace.
No, I'm not
If you are,
disabled.
I'm not done. Thank you. Okay. If you had a disability that would assist you, anything that you need extra at your job is actually included in the accessibility. So you need a more comfortable chair, you can get that through DEI practices within the workplace. You already have an inherent misunderstanding of what DEIA is and the fact that it is a human resource training tool and it is not a hiring practice. Now, what DEIA does is require jobs or it required companies to post their job listings in other places that they wouldn't normally post them. So if you walk down, I don't know if you ever have done a paper application or not, but if you've ever walked down and you decided to go into a place because you saw an ad somewhere, that's actually more than likely a practice because of DEIA and the human resources tool that it's being utilized as. It does not set a quota saying that you can't hire X number of white men. Now, I find it funny that you specifically said white people are the ones that are not being hired when research has shown that white women are the number one benefactors from DEIA policies being instituted.
Well, it sounds like you just contradicted yourself a little bit because on one hand, you claimed that DEI wasn't anything to do with hiring or anything like that. It was just like a human resource thing. And then now you're saying that white women were the largest beneficiaries. So could you clarify that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do women need? Can you tell me, like, don't
So,
women need some,
I'm
like,
going to go back because there's a couple of things that you said that aren't correct. So first of all,
Oh,
ADA compliance is separate from DEI, right? So when you're talking about needing a special
accessibility
chair or
is
something
still
because you
there.
can't sit,
You're
right? So that's a
awesome.
separate policy from DEI, right? DEI obviously does, like all of corporate America. If you go to any big corporation, if you go to law firms, if you go to any media companies, they all have DEI targets. A lot of this has been released publicly. The idea that there isn't things like race being considered when these hiring decisions are made is just completely false. And the way that our civil rights anti-discrimination laws are set up is that it punishes employers if they even accidentally hire too many white people, right? So it's like, as a white person, like that's obviously not in my interest, is it?
Hold on. Sorry, I must have misused that. Do you say as a white person it's not in your interest to have things accessible to you or to have diversity?
I mean, it depends on how we obtain the diversity, right? So if we are deliberately lowering the standards for certain groups, which is how affirmative
Gotcha.
action and DEI function in practice, right?
Incorrect.
If I'm not a member of those groups, obviously that's a disadvantage.
That's an absolute incorrect. So while affirmative action, okay, did have certain requirements, and even then, okay, according to the Supreme Court, strict quotas were never allowed within affirmative action. So what you were saying is absolutely incorrect. There are never any quotas
I didn't say
whatsoever in
anything about strict quotas.
Sir, I let you finish. Thank you. Okay. DEI never had any type of quotas at all. And nowhere in DEI does it allow for the lowering of standards. That's some freaking bullshit that I don't know where the heck that came from whatsoever. Okay. All it said is it gave a higher standard to people of the same quality, right, of work that were already equally, there. It would give certain priority to certain groups of people. Like she said, the number one group of that was white women, right? For things like for different things that women need, like places to breastfeed in, right? When they're breastfeeding. That's a great example of a DEI policy, right? Veterans are a huge group. Actually, I think the second largest group when it comes to DEI as far as who it effectuates because of their disabilities from the military and stuff like that.
That's why the A in DEIA is so important.
Exactly. And so what that actually does is that actually prioritizes veterans, especially in government jobs, to be able to get those jobs, right? When it even with their disabilities, or actually prioritize the people with the disabilities. That is completely different from affirmative action. Affirmative action was mostly for schools that actually tried to create some type of equality because forever white people were just given the benefit of the doubt, and actually lower standard white people were put into these colleges just because they were white. And so what that did was attempt to equalize it while making it where black people had an actual chance. So what affirmative action actually did was actually put higher quality black people in place of underperforming white people in these schools, in these government jobs. So it did the exact opposite of what you're saying, right? But what you're really saying is you just want those programs to go away because you're white and you want those white policies, all right, to help you and to help your children and all that sort of stuff. And I understand that, okay? Because when you've been so high for so long, equality feels like oppression, right? It feels like you're being oppressed upon because you're no longer standing on this hill overlooking all of minorities, all of women, all people with disabilities. You just get to have your little spot on the hill. And now you feel like that little spot on the hill is being taken away from you because, oh no, you just can't be super below average, right? And then get all the positions that actually qualified black people or qualified women or qualified disabled people actually get, right? And that's why you're having such a hard time. So sir, I'm sorry. I know. I wish we all could have the confidence of a mediocre white man, okay? That you think for some reason that because we want to make sure that black people get into schools just as much as white people do, or that black people get into, what was that last one? Oh, it was the flight school, United's flight school that everybody lost their mind about because they're like, hey, we want to teach more black people how to be pilots because they've been super underserved in this industry, right? But we want to make sure that they actually get spots in this school so that they can effectuate, so they can start building, having careers, so they can start building generational wealth. And you're like, no. I want my dumb son, right, who I literally paid to get through high school or paid to get into college, right? I want him to go ahead and take those jobs. I don't want anybody else to have them. That's what you're saying, dude. And that's just white nationalism with extra steps.
And the other thing, so like I read this, actually I have a sticker that I wish I had in front of me right now that basically says like you are considering equality like it's some kind of pie chart, and that giving equality or equity to other groups means less of that for you, and it's not a fucking pie chart.
Okay, I want to respond to a bunch of stuff that you guys said. So just to clarify,
Yeah, go ahead.
the term affirmative action is not limited to the educational context. The phrase itself comes from the executive order that I outlined earlier, Executive Order 11246, which applies to all, or applied
Signed
until
by who?
Trump recently, but it applied to all government contractors.
Signed by who?
Second of all, you brought up another
Who signed
category
that
like
executive
veteran
order?
status. Your status as a veteran is not a
Yes, sir.
protected characteristic under the 14th Amendment. Right, the 14th Amendment prohibits discrimination on the basis of certain characteristics such as race. Right, so if you're doing affirmative action based off of veteran status, it's fine, but you don't get to do it based off of race. Right, and then
Veteran
this idea that
status
just because
does not
it's
fall
helpful.
under
So
affirmative
hold on,
action. It
I want to
falls
respond to
under
everything you guys said.
DEIA policy, sir, not AA, because otherwise they wouldn't have any kind of preferential treatment when applying for jobs. Because affirmative action
So
was repealed by the United States Supreme Court, not by Donald
So the
Trump.
Supreme Court only repealed it in the very limited context of undergraduate admissions, right? It has not been outlawed in any other context, right? And it's still systematized across all of corporate America, right? And then you bring up the fact that white women, for the most part, have been the largest beneficiaries of these policies. Yes, because there's a lot of white women. There's a lot more white women than there are black people in the United States, right? So there's more of them, so they're going to benefit more, right? But what I'm talking about, and even that, like the things artificially boosting white women. I'm sure that you guys have heard of intersectionality, right? We have to, view this upon multiple planes And what they are just doing is discriminating against men. They're discriminating against white people. They're discriminating against straight people,
The
right?
super
And of course, you
discriminated white
two.
Christian straight man.
No, but of course,
Straight people are being
I'm not even a
discriminated
Christian,
against.
but
Holy,
of
for
course, you
fuck's
two
sakes.
are going to support these policies because you're beneficiaries of them, right? It's like, of course, you're going to support policies that discriminate against people like me in favor of people like you.
Absolutely, where I would not.
I mean, that's what you're doing during this conversation.
No, I'm not.
You-
The
So if you
policies that I'm
support
supporting,
DEI or
sir,
affirmative
the
action
policies that,
policies
sir,
to promote diversity in the workplace,
sir,
what
the
you're saying is that there
policies,
should be fewer white men.
Sir, the policies that I am supporting are not to benefit me, okay, over you. It is to
You're
give
awesome.
people like me an equal shake as you. Because you're saying, oh yeah, under the 14th Amendment is protected, you cannot, discriminate against based off race. Yet we still see to this day that companies discriminate based off of race. We have very recent studies showing that will have people that are completely equal, that have exact same resumes, but if they have a black sounding name, they are less likely
Oh
to
my
get a
God.
call back from a company. That is there have been multiple studies that have shown that. So what I'm
Hey,
saying is,
what's a
sir,
black sounding
sir,
name? What's a white sounding name? Give me a white name.
Tanner.
Tanner.
Yeah.
Never met a black guy named Tanner in my
Get-
whole life.
Give me another white person name.
I just
Joel.
I just did. Tanner.
Because
Tanner's
in a
white as
lot
shit.
of those studies, if you
Joel.
look at the names that they use for supposed white people names,
Chris, Matt,
one of them they literally
Michael,
use John. I know
Omar.
like half a
I
dozen
just-
black people
I just
named
wanna
John.
give a-
Right? It's like, or they'll use names like David. It's like all these things. It's like I know a bunch of black people named this. Right? So the idea that these are white names just fails on its face.
Do you know a black
like
Tanner?
most black people have white people names.
Do you know a black Tanner?
Not a black. I don't know any Tanners. I've never met
Oh,
someone
okay.
named Tanner
Do you know why black people have white people names?
because they live in a white country or a historically white country.
Because white people are racist and they want to make sure they get callbacks. The entire
I think it's also
thing that,
because
sir,
they're
the thing-
largely
sir,
Christian, and a lot of
sir,
white people names are just
sir,
Christian names.
Sir, literally what I'm telling you, you are proving my point. The reason why those people are named that, right, is because these companies overwhelmingly hire white people over black people. They hire white straight males over women, right? They hire straight people over gay people. Even though you're saying that you cannot discriminate against it, we see that they do. We see that these colleges discriminate against this. And what things like affirmative action did was say, hey, we're gonna make sure that you don't discriminate against these, against these certain groups. We're going to make sure that you have to, okay, hire these, because we know that there's just as many qualified black people to do this as there are white people, but you keep hiring all the white people. We know that there's just as many
Wait, how do
qualified
we know
women
that?
to do this, but you keep hiring the men. We know that there's just as many qualified gay people to do this, but you keep hiring the straight people. You keep ignoring this, so we're going to force your hand, and we're going to make sure that you can't discriminate. You are literally advocating for the discrimination.
No, you guys are okay. You said that we know that there are equal number of qualified black people as white people. How do we know that?
How do we know that? Because everybody is equal, sir. Does that help you? Like,
What does
that's
that
how
mean?
you know that
What does
there are
that
an
mean?
equal number of qualified individuals, regardless of their tone of skin or the amount of melanin that they happen to have within their body. They're equal. People are equal. What proof do you have to show that there are more uneducated or unqualified black people to work in a job over white people? And go.
Well, I think that no matter what job you're looking at, it's fairly typical that like certain types of people are better at that job than others, right? So like sports is the most obvious example of this, right? So like it's not the case that there are equal number or equal percentage of white people who are like world star basketball players as black people, right? Obviously, right? And so I don't see why we would assume that there would be parity in any where do we ever see parity?
Yeah,
Can you
that's
find
very
any
simple to
area
answer,
where
sir.
we see
Sir,
parity?
I'm not talking about people where it's beneficial to be 6'8" and 230 pounds and run a 4.2 flat, okay? I'm talking about being an airline pilot. Can you please tell me what advantage white people have over black people in being pilots?
I mean, I don't know anything about being a pilot, but I can
What
say
do you
that,
know
like, for
about?
example, there are a lot of Jewish people who are really good at being attorneys, right? 'Cause it's a, like, the type of reasoning echoes a lot of, like, ways that, like, the Talmud is written and stuff. And so
Okay,
there's just a lot of Jewish people
sir,
who end up being attorneys because of that, right?
sir.
I wouldn't expect there to be an equal percentage of Jewish people and black people who become attorneys,
Why not?
right? That's not because of discrimination.
Why not?
For the same reason that I wouldn't expect there to be as many Jewish basketball players as black basketball
Sir, the
players for the
reason,
same exact reasons.
sir, here's the reason why there's more black people in the NBA than there are white people. Okay, it's because when white people owned slaves, they liked bigger, faster, stronger ones. So they bred black people to be bigger, faster, and stronger, so that they could own people a lot better. Okay, so that black people could build this
Like a
country for
breeding
them
program, you
on their
believe in, like,
fucking back. That's
eugenics?
exactly what the fuck
What?
happened. Okay, so that is literally why you guys can barely get a spot in the NBA, or everybody gets so excited when there's a white cornerback in the NFL, because that is what y'all did. Y'all made us bigger, faster, stronger, and better hung. Okay, that is your guys' fault. Okay, that is why that happens. But that is a physical anomaly. Okay, that is a physical trait that was literally bred into black people because of white people. That is not the same as the job market that we are talking about. When it comes to being a pilot, when it comes to being an accountant, when it comes to being in business or a finance or work on Wall Street, that is intellect. So unless you are going to prove to me that white people are inherently smarter than black people, then I don't really know exactly what the fuck your point is.
So, I mean, I think that inherently is doing a lot of the heavy lifting there. And I don't think that any of us on this call are qualified to, like, break down how much of, like, the IQ difference is inherent. Are you denying that, just, like, descriptively, as of right now, right, there is an IQ difference on average?
No.
So you do reject that? You don't believe that?
Correct.
So all of the all of the IQ tests ever taken that show that, you just hand wave that all away?
Sir, nobody cares about your BuzzFeed test.
I'm not talking about a BuzzFeed test. I'm talking about, you know, peer-reviewed studies analyzing differences in IQ going
You know
back
what-
nearly a century now.
You know what those peer-reviewed studies show? Those peer-reviewed
That
studies
there
show
is
that
a
people
reliable gap in cognitive performance between
Yeah.
various racial groups
that
on
cognitive
average.
performance goes up when you're wealthier. That's what it shows. The more sleep you get, the better food you eat, the better you're raised, the more caregiving you get, all that sort of stuff. All of those factors, your society around you has a very, very large contributing factor to what your IQ is, okay, and how well you do
So I
on an
agree with
IQ
that. I
test,
agree that
right?
there's
If it is
obviously
never
important.
built up,
Sorry.
then it is never shown. So all you're saying is that white people have been more privileged in the United States than black people. That I completely agree with you on, sir. I believe that they have lacked education because they've been subjected to things like redlining, which have put them in housing districts that have had worse schools, and so therefore they have been given less resources, less tutoring, no ability to study for things like SATs. So therefore they have gotten into less colleges. So therefore they have had less opportunities to go to those colleges. So they become less educated. So they work for less, and then they are not able to pass that on to their children. And that cycle goes on and on and on and on. So again, sir, thank you for proving to me why things like affirmative action are so important, because we are currently, or at least we were currently before the Trump administration, trying to make up, okay, with 100+ years, okay, of pure and systemic racism in this country that is disenfranchised generations of black people in this country, okay, due to the racist policies of white people, the ones that are still continuing, while Donald Trump currently right now tries to attack the Voting Rights Act, tries to attack the Civil Rights Act, and tries to attack the education of black people in this country.
I just, before you respond, caller, I want to add this in and be more clear on this. Specifically, the actions of white men, because white women have never had the exact same rights in this country as white men. And we are still systemically oppressed as women.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to what the dude was saying.
Cat got your tongue?
So I think that you're somewhat confusing. So there's 3 different types of claims, right? So there are causal claims, descriptive claims, and normative claims. Actually, I'm going to change the order. Descriptive claims, causal claims, normative claims. Descriptive claims are just describing what do we see? What is the observed phenomenon? Causal claims posit what explains this, what has caused this phenomenon. And then normative claims is like, what is the solution? What should we do about it? Right? I made a descriptive claim, and you appear to object to it. Right? So my descriptive claim is that on average, blacks have way lower IQs than everybody else. And then you started positing all sorts of
No, you didn't.
causes.
No, you didn't. You
I
appealed
did.
to
I said
authority.
I'm not going to
You
parse
appealed to
whether
the
or not it's inherent.
research. Sir, you appealed to the research showing that. And I was clarifying what the research that you were positing actually said. Okay? You said that over the last 100 years that the research has shown this. And I was clarifying what the research actually showed. Okay?
So based off of your description, I find it hard to believe that you've actually reviewed the research.
I
But it's neither
have.
here nor there. We don't have to get into it.
Sir,
What
I
I
don't
would say
believe
is
you've
that
read past the fucking headline
descriptively,
or whatever freaking Turning Point USA told you. Okay? Please do not give me this bullshit about who's better researched on this because it is obviously me.
okay, I'm not really interested in getting in a dick measuring contest.
You
So what
started
I would
it,
say
you
is
just
that
lost.
descriptively, we have reliably observed a large gap in intelligence, right? And I would probably agree with you about a lot of the causes of that. I do agree that nutrition and lead poisoning, all of these things influence
You're
IQ, right? The
awesome.
science on that is pretty clear. But descriptively, there is a gap, right? And so therefore,
Access to
you wouldn't expect for
education.
there to be the same number of like
I'm gonna
Jewish
pause you
or
for a
black
second because
attorneys.
you've lost the plot on the claim or the point that Polly pointed out to you. You've literally lost the plot. Access to education, not just simple access, but access to higher education and quality education is what you can measure when it comes to IQ tests, which, by the way, just really tests how well you're capable of testing as well.
Oh no, I disagree with you, Ari. He didn't lose the plot. This is what he's saying. Okay, this is what he's saying with his causal and his descriptive and all that sort of stuff. This is exactly what he's saying. I don't care for you to tell me the reasons why something happened. I just want to talk about that it's happening. Okay, that is exactly what he's saying. He's saying, I don't give a shit about the reasons, okay, why black people have not gotten the opportunity to be able to do stuff. I only care that now that they haven't been given the opportunity, they haven't been able to reap the benefits of that. And that is why he is saying that affirmative action and things like DEI shouldn't exist. Because he's saying that now, okay, now that they've been disenfranchised, it's too fucking late and I don't want to give up my white privilege now. That is what he is saying. He gets it right on the top, on the nose. He knows exactly what he is doing. He is promoting white nationalism in the United States. That is exactly what he is doing. Those same people that want women to be barefoot in the kitchen, to be submissive, who probably still wish that their family still owned slaves. That is who this person wants to emulate. This is what he wants to go back to. This dude is a worse version of Stephen Miller. And to be completely fucking honest with you, I don't even know why I'm still talking to him.
I've been wondering that for a hot minute, but that's just my opinion.
Right. So I'm actually a small F feminist, right? So you're not going to hear me say anything that's against women. But
Sorry,
I would
no.
say that I'm against.
I'm actually gonna.
Excuse
So,
me.
no, you personally, as a white man, cannot be a feminist. Back up off me. There's that awkward
Educate me.
laugh.
Educate me, wise white woman. Educate me about that. Why can't I be a feminist?
Oh, you're specifically against DEIA policies, which again, statistically have proven have benefited white women the most. So therefore, automatically, you no longer get to call yourself a feminist. You also voted for Donald J. Trump, who is an adjudicated sexual assaulter, which means he's attacked women, has been accused of sexual assault and rape by over 30 women. And if you look at the percentage of how many are actually false allegations, percentage-wise, as reported by the Department of Justice, it's less than 3%. So that would mean less than one singular person after this, out of those 30, was a false accusation statistically wise. Okay? So no, you voted for a sexual assaulter. You're voting against and you're celebrating the dismantling of DEIA policies that directly benefit women. You do not get to call yourself a feminist, and you've already acknowledged that the overturning of Roe v. Wade was due to Donald Trump's appointments to the United States Supreme Court, and you still say that you support Donald J. Trump, which means you have now disenfranchised women across the entirety of the United States with access to abortion care, meaning that women's rights change by state to state, which should never be a thing. Yet you want to call yourself a feminist, and women are dying across this country because they have lost access to essential health care. Children, young children, are being forced to give birth to their rapist babies across this country as young as 10 in 2023 because they were denied access to abortion. Women have lost access to their fertility in states like Texas for having an ectopic pregnancy, but were denied access to abortion care because doctors are afraid to perform an abortion, which, by the way, according to the CDC, the removal of an ectopic pregnancy isn't even considered abortion. But doctors are so afraid of Texas's law that would cause them to get fined, put in prison, lose their license, that they are too scared to perform one until someone is literally on death's bed. You have Adriana Smith, who was put on life support for, sorry, I'm trying to do quick math. She was 15 weeks after she was declared brain dead because of Georgia's abortion laws and the vague generalities that are written into the law itself. So no, sir. And by you simply voting for Donald Trump and actively still support him, you do not get to call yourself a feminist. Do you understand? And unless a woman tells you
so what I would say
that
is
you're
that
safe,
a lot
you
of
can pause. You can pause again. Unless a woman tells you that you are a safe man or a good guy, you don't get to make that claim for yourself ever. So I'm going to tell you right now, as a woman, you cannot call yourself a feminist. Strip yourself of that title.
Well,
you don't get to put it on your own hat.
to be fair, I wasn't really asking for your permission.
I
And
don't
what I
care,
would say is a lot of
Pika.
your response.
He probably doesn't ask for women's permission
was
for
about
much, which is
abortion.
another reason why he's not a feminist.
That's exactly the reason why they voted
Consent
for
seems
Donald
to be a
J.
problem.
Trump. He
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
believe
that,
in
you know,
asking
it's like,
for
if I'm going to
consent.
ask any woman for permission, it's going to be my wife, okay? And so first of all,
Oh, I hope she
That'd be the first
divorces
time.
you
so it's
real
like everything
quick.
that you're saying about abortion does not apply to me. And second of all, like your version of feminism
You
is like this
acknowledge.
zero-sum situation where the advancement of women happens at the expense of men, right? By supporting policies that promote women into these positions of authority.
Holy, for fuck's sake! Everything that women get is at the expense of men, and this guy wants to call himself a fucking feminist. You've literally proven the point.
No.
Thank you. This
This-
is
No.
perfect.
I
This-
said that my
this
version
dude's
of
wife has
feminism
faked
does not
every
require it to
single
be at the
time, bro.
expense of men.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking to you now. Bye. That dude's wife has faked it every time. And
Yeah.
she deserves an Oscar. Like
damn.
3 Oscars. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all, if you guys can do me a favor, first of all, if you're new here, please hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you are over on, depending on which live you're on, you're either on one of my channels or one of Ari's channels right now, as we kind of have them split. So make sure you not only hit that follow button and hit that subscribe button on the channel that you're on, but you also hit it for the other one. For me, it is Polypolitics 1.0 on YouTube, Polypolitics. Oh yeah, I'm already on TikTok. So Polypolitics 1.0 on YouTube, Polypolitics on Twitch.
Mermaid.Ari on TikTok, but you guys, I'm right there on the live on TikTok. Mermaid Ari 0 on YouTube and Twitch.
Beautiful. We're about to move to over the next caller. We're going to hit up a few super chats really quickly. We're not going to take too long on this, but I really do appreciate all the support. Now, if you guys would like to support, we do have super chats open. We have a live gift goal going on for all of the platforms and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for that. And we also have our pay links in our bios, respective of which one you guys are on. The pay links are there somewhere. Megs, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, excuse me. Dose, thank you so much for the laughing disco. Bishop, thank you so much for the 100 bits. They said they will be playing on the basketball courts above the United States Supreme Court building. Yeah, 100%. That's not a joke. Rich off Wi-Fi, thank you so much. Said, can you add a fourth? I want to, because this dude out here is saying that we pick between two choices and they are bad. If it was that simple, people would vote green libertarian. Tell him this. Tell him this. Did he ever vote green? That dude.
You're awesome.
He is a strict Republican, and he even said, I've picked a team, right? I've picked a team.
Weird.
I'm a fanatic now, right? It's so weird. Yeah. And this, I said, it's weird. Like anytime you're buying merch, right? And like, anyways, the merch for Trump is one thing. We're not going to get into the merch for Charlie Kirk right now. Freaking Erica Kirk's out there making a
And before
killing.
you move on to his next one, also, I don't know if you've gotten any direct donations, but W. Chris for sending me 50 on the Blue app said dual stream needs.
I did. I was going to hit those at the end. But
My bad. I
there
only
you
got
go.
one, so let me
It's
just.
all good. Rich also said, I asked him if he's ever voted libertarian. He hasn't. There is no real libertarians anymore. They're just Republicans in disguise. They're Republicans that are afraid to be Republicans. Give this guy's tax to Israel now. I don't catch that one. I might have missed that part. That's okay though. I really appreciate you guys. Jay Lee, thank you so much for the 666. Can we get 666 in the chat? I really appreciate you guys. Says, how is MAGA Cybertruck the same dumpster? Yeah, they're both dumpster fires. That Cybertruck is so weird. And if any of you guys own one, I just want to let you know that if you're liberal or you're conservative, I do not care. If you drive a Cybertruck, that's fucking weird. I'm sorry. I don't.
Weird.
I don't care.
They're ugly. They're
It's
so
very
ugly.
strange. I puke a little every single time I see one. I just thought I'd let you know that. Reality check. Thank you so much for the 6-7. I appreciate that. Tatted, thank you so much for the $5. Said, heck yeah, I don't have to choose between the two streams. That was literally one of the reasons why we wanted to start doing this, because we know a lot of people had been having a hard time deciding between the two streams. So hopefully we can do this a little bit more often, because I am having fun. This is a lot of fun. Jane Lee again with the 666. Oh, we already saw this one. Tobin, thank you so much for the $5. Said, wow, I snapped to attention when Ari shut the guest down for interrupting. Hell yeah. Lock it up. John's World, thank you so much for the high five. Danielle, thank you so much for the $2. Said, to the privilege equality feels like oppression. 100% Danielle. I think I said something close to that during that last guess. I think.
Yeah,
But thank
you
you so
kinda
much,
did.
Danielle. Rich said Color lost the plot. No, Color got dog walked and he was trying to find a way to come back and he failed at that miserably. That's how that worked.
His racism and sexism was just exposed.
I don't think it was hard. I think he was gonna do that on his own. Aslan said, what is white when it comes to race? Is it many races that are light skinned, or is it one race? White is a generic construct in which America makes up, just like black is. Black has nothing to do with your ethnicity or where you came from. It's just a color of your skin that is arbitrarily assigned by our society. If that.
Well, also, like, if we're being biologically correct or genetically correct, it's just how much melanin you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like your skin color, you can even that point, right? Like it's just sociological. Yeah, he's a Josh Whedon feminist. Yeah, for sure. Latinos voted for Trump ought to be ashamed. Actually, really just everybody that voted for Donald Trump should be ashamed, I think is probably a better way to put that, I'm pretty sure. You all thank you so much. You are both evil and are banned from my kingdom. Hell yeah, dude.
Whatever.
Hell
will I
yeah,
do?
dude. I finally got banned from the kingdom. I've been trying to do this. Can we get another 666 in the chat? Can I get some 666 in the hail, Satan? I'm banned from the kingdom. I really appreciate that. Garrett wants to let us know abortion is murder. All right. Thank you for the $5 for me to tell you that you're a bigot and I don't give a shit about you. Hey, thank you so much for the $5. Says, bring back the dude that says the N-word. He's the best. What?
My spammer. I guess that's him.
Oh.
Thank you so much, spammer, for also paying me money on YouTube. I love this. Keep doing that. Actually, I'm so sorry. Don't pay me money. I hate it so much.
Oh, God, it'd be the worst. So
no,
it's so
the
bad.
worst.
Oh, I hope that never happens. Kaluminati, I like that name, said, "Hey, Ari and Polly, keep up the great work from down under in Australia." Hell yeah, I got Australia in the house. Ellie, thank you so much for the $5. Said the two eviscerated that last caller, especially Ari. You remind me that I am not alone in saying, "What in the actual fuck?" Amen to that. Amen to that. That's freaking awesome. L's in the chat for Megan. No, W's Megan in the chat if you love them with the duo stream. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. Real Patriot said Trump and Epstein handshaking. I think they did more than that, unfortunately.
I missed that.
Jeff said nothing wrong with being Republican. Not if you're, as long as you're a Republican that doesn't support Trump, then yeah, that's totally fine. And Jonathan, thank you so much for $2. Said this is the best of both worlds. Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for.
I will say, so Jeff was in my Discord server for a while. If you guys are not in either Discord server, Linktree in both of our bios, join the Discord servers. And we've kind of baby step Jeff along into understanding how Trump's policies aren't good. And we've also taught him how to do some not dig in past surface level research. And I think he appreciated that. So yes, as you, Jeff, yeah, you're not a Republican. You call yourself an independent, sir. Let's get it right.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully Jeff gets the best over here. He seems to be. He's tried over here. And Luca, thank you so much for the $3. Said just took over their kingdom. You guys are unbanned. Oh, sweet. I'm back in. That's awesome. I made it. I'm saved now. All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Let's see if we can keep this thing going. Let's see if we can get this thing up to 250,000 likes over on TikTok. And please make sure you're hitting that like button on the YouTube channels and the Twitch. I appreciate that. Let's open up these phone lines and keep this thing going. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm calling. I had a point about. I think something the last guy said that I think may have been obfuscated. I think the point that he was trying to make was that let's say you were to have like 600 African American applicants and 60 white American applicants to a job. And the employer were to say, well, we are hiring 20% of our, staff is going to be white Americans. Proportionately, those white Americans are going to be less qualified than the African Americans just due to the sheer numbers.
Sir, if that was an issue we were ever dealing with, then I think we would have to address laws that address that at that time. Unfortunately, that's not the case and nowhere near the case and a complete false equivalency.
I don't think that's the case, because if you look at like airline jobs, right, if you look at people who are applying to become pilots, I think it's like something like 80% of the applicants are white Americans.
Yeah, sir. And airline pilots make up like 2 to 3% of airline pilots are black. Yeah. You're literally saying 20% of the applicants are black, which would actually be over
No, I'm not
proportional.
saying
Sir,
that. I said 80%
which would be
are
actually,
white
sir,
males.
sir, I'm finishing here. So that would actually be over proportional because that's larger than the actual amount of black people in percentage wise to the American population, according to white people. So that would already be overpopulated. So then that would even be more discrimination on top of that, because only about 2 to 3% of pilots in the United States are actually black.
Yeah, but that's not what I said, is it? Because I said
Yes,
80% are white males. So that means the other 20% are white females, Asian males, Hispanic females.
Yep. And DEI covers all of them.
I didn't say 20% are black, but this is kind of what you do, right?
And DEI covers literally all of the groups that you're talking about.
Sure, that's okay. But I'm saying that when the vast percentage of applicants for these jobs are of one demographic, then
And
just
why
statistically,
are
that
those applicants like that? Sir, I just went over this with the last guy. Why are the applicants like that?
I think there are various reasons, and I think there are various jobs and various career paths that you can look at, and that can make up ethnic background, that can make up who's a part of their family, that can
No,
make up
because more white people
educational
get into flight
background.
school.
There
That's
are
why. Because more
there's
white
a
people get
number
into
of
flight
different
school.
factors,
That is the reason why. Because
right? And
more
it's not
white
just
people get
racism.
into flight school. That is why. There are
It's
more
not
white
no, it's not
pilots
just
because more white
racism,
people
right?
got
Like
into
that's
flight
your
school.
fucking go-to all the time. It's like I'm a victim, right? I need people to feel sorry for me so that way I can try to get ahead.
Here, I'll give you a perfect
That's what you
example.
do.
Sir, you know what? I'll give you a perfect example of how dumb your statement is. Okay?
Okay,
I'll give
please
you a perfect
obfuscate
example.
some more. Tell me something I
Sure.
didn't say again.
Absolutely. Where do the majority of airline pilots in the United States come from? Get their training from?
What are you even asking? Like, what school do they go to? Like, what? What are
Where
you
did
saying
they
right
get
now?
their
What's the
training?
question? Like, are you asking what specific institute they went to school at, or like,
Sure.
where did they get their training? They went to a program that taught them how to be pilots.
Yeah, and what program is that?
I couldn't tell you, man. I'm not that vested into the airline issue specifically, to be honest.
Yeah, so most of them get them from the military. Yeah, and
Sure,
when were women
sure.
allowed to fly fighter jets in the United States in the military? What year?
I'm sorry, say that again.
In what year were women allowed to start flying fighter jets in the U.S. military?
I couldn't tell you.
1993. Yeah.
Okay.
1993
now, since
was the first
1993,
year
how
that
many
women
of the
could fly
applicants
fighter
for
jets in the
military
United States, sir.
pilots
Sir,
are women?
1993. Okay.
Sure,
So
I can
if
hear
the
you
if the
crystal
military,
clear, but I'm asking
if the military, sir, if the military
Okay.
didn't allow women to fly fighter jets, then how were they supposed to get their training to keep up with the men? Because that is literally not only the most efficient, but the cheapest way to ever become a pilot.
Okay, so you're saying that right now it's been almost 40 years since women have been allowed to fly, right?
32.
That is
In this
not a
35-year
that's
timeline,
the right math.
how percentage-wise, how many women are applying for those airline pilot jobs?
This is what he
and
thinks.
how many
He
are
thinks,
getting?
Gotcha. He thinks 1993, the first woman was able to fly the first fighter jet. And by 1994, it was like 20, 25, 30% women.
Nope.
That's what you're saying.
I'm asking you today, 30 years later. How many? What's the percentage difference between applicants between men and women now?
It's probably drastic.
Yeah, it's probably drastic. Now, do you think that has anything to do with just the lines of work that people tend to pursue? Now,
No,
you can make the argument that there might be some sort of like societal factor, right, pushing people towards one career or another.
Oh yeah, purity culture is
But
a
what
whole
I'm
other part
saying
of that.
is
That's for damn sure. But
women
regardless
are-
of that,
okay.
sir, every single year, the amount of pilots in the U.S. military that are women increase, and with that, every single year,
Awesome.
the amount of pilots in the commercial airline space also increases. Right? It's accessibility to education. It's accessibility to training. That is the exact thing that I am saying about the whole thing. There are more applicants because more people get the training.
Wait.
There are more people getting the training, okay, now because traditionally, right, only white males were
Mhm.
allowed to get it, and then slowly over time, it goes through attrition, and then it starts to catch up and catch up and catch up and catch up, right?
Okay,
But
so
these
you're
these
saying that
DI
women
policies and
have
these
less
affirmative action
access
policies.
to education, even though right now there are more graduates, annual graduates with bachelor's degrees that are women than male. But somehow they still have harder access to education?
Education to be fighter pilots or pilots in
I
general
sound like they have
is
the
what
same
he said.
access to that education. They just
On
don't
what
choose it.
education? We were talking specifically about being a pilot. Now you're just going to generalize education. Sure, that's not the claim that was stated or
we're
the
using
argument that
pilot
was
as
even
an
stated.
example. I thought that you could understand
His-
this maybe. Is that we're using pilot as an example for jobs that are typically
He's
considered to be
mansplaining it
white
you.
male
You
jobs.
know that, right?
Yeah, he literally did.
It
He
doesn't
literally
have
just
to
I
be.
thought you
mansplained that to you.
understood. That's
Did
what
you
we
guys
were
hear that
talking
shit?
about.
Oh my god, he literally just tried to mansplain it to her.
Caller.
Holy shit! He didn't do that to me when I was just on.
No, he did not. So caller,
It's
I'm
okay.
not
I'm
sure.
a feminist, so I
Hey-
can say stuff like that.
Apparently, we attract all the male feminists. By the way, Ari knows, and I'll offend as many of you as I fucking want. I really don't care. I don't believe men can be feminists. That's me personally. All right, so that's all. That's a whole other conversation.
I think that's insane, dude. That's crazy. You think
Hey,
that
caller,
based on
I
some
don't
of
know.
these
Caller, calm down for a
demographics, they
second.
can't have an
Calm
ideology?
down, calm
That's
down.
crazy, bro.
Hey,
That's actually
Pookie Pie,
sexist.
Pookie Pie. I'm not sure where you got the caucasity, but you need to put it back.
Caucasity. Damn, and you're guessing my race too. That's pretty fucked up. That's racist of you. You don't know who the fuck I am.
Sir, you've already proven it with your argument, unless you're
Oh,
just a
I've proven
raging
it. Oh
bigot,
yeah, I've proven that I'm what? Fucking half black.
that you're a white nationalist.
Oh my god, dude. This is the thing with you guys, right? It's like anything that I
Oh
don't
no,
like
you guys.
is white nationalism. Anything I don't like is Nazism. Oh no, I can't
We
kill
never
my own
made that
baby in the
point.
womb. That's fascism. Oh no.
Sir, what's the
Hey,
definition
I'm
of fascism?
going to say this as a feminist.
Jesus.
You guys are both fucking retards.
Oh, and now you gotta go. You can't use slurs. Oh, you hung up on your own.
All of them use slurs. I don't give a shit. Don't bother me.
Just fucking.
he makes himself sound like an idiot. He don't hurt me.
You're
I'm-
awesome.
I don't know why they don't have no effect on me. All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller. Obviously, that person has some problems. Chris, thank you so much for the $13 over on Venmo too. It said Tanner got me. That was hilarious. That was hilarious, dude.
You know, there's another name. Cutter? That's not a name you hear.
That's not a name. That's not a real human person's name. Hello, how are you?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 38. How old are you guys?
I'm 39.
34.
Hey,
Yeah, don't know why. Are we on a dating website now?
I guess so. Let's talk about it. No,
Yeah, I don't know why we need to talk about it. I need to know yours because you're on my social media channel. I assume if you want to know mine,
Yeah,
you're
don't
trying to
worry.
date me.
I haven't been 18 since what was it? Yeah, since 20
Since
years.
20 years ago.
But
If you're
anyway.
38. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
All good. All good.
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyway,
you still support Trump?
yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
For the sole reason of national security.
All right. How's that happening?
Well, I'm a member of the military, so I can speak firsthand on this. But ever since Trump was reelected into office, our lives as military members has drastically improved. I'm talking
And how's
about pay, I'm talking about equipment, I'm talking about funding, just generally across the board. But also morale is through the roof.
That's
I'm not sure if you
amazing, sir. That is amazing. I am so happy for
this
you.
is a good.
Here's a little
this is a good
problem with
thing,
that,
right?
sir.
Okay.
There's a little problem with that. Yeah.
What's your problem with it?
Yeah, all the funding and all the military pay that's been happening since Donald Trump took office was approved under the Biden administration. The Trump administration's funding doesn't take effect to next year. So if you're seeing these drastic increases in funding and equipment and pay and all this sort of stuff, thanks, Joe Biden.
Ooh, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks,
Well,
Biden.
I'm speaking specifically about what we received recently. We did get a nice little bump, nice little bonus. If you guys weren't tracking on that news, so that's
Yeah.
something Trump did.
You want to tell you
Very
how?
happy
You
with
mean tell
that.
you how he fucked you over on that?
How did he do that? How am I
Yeah. So
fucked
that
up
money
on
was
that?
actually well, since you're in the military, of course you know what BAH is, right? That was
Oh,
actually
yeah. Oh, yeah.
that was actually congressionally approved BAH money that you were actually supposed to get over the course of next year, right? And Donald Trump took that money, that increase in your BAH, packaged it all in one little thing to give it to you as a bonus. Here's the problem. As you very well know, since you're in the military, your BAH isn't taxed, but your bonus is. So he gave
Mhm.
you money that was
Mhm.
already yours and took it from being non-taxable to taking it to being taxable.
But I'm still going to get my BAH no matter what every single month.
You were going to get an increase in that BAH. That's what that was for. It was specifically money that was appropriated by Congress in the big beautiful bill earlier this year that was specifically supposed to go towards housing subsidies for the military.
Yeah, and we're still going to get our same subsidies.
Sir, you're not
It's gonna
quite
happen.
understanding.
We're not.
All of the money
we're-
that you just got on your little bonus was supposed to go to you next year tax-free. Instead, it came to you this month, and now you have to pay taxes on it.
but I'm still gonna get that money no matter
let me-
what. I'm
let
still
me
gonna
try.
get my
Am I speaking a
BAH.
different language?
You're not, but maybe let me try to woman-splain this. He might understand it. I'm not sure. We're gonna try
I
it.
do like her voice a little bit better.
Okay.
Creepy.
Anyway, so originally in the congressionally approved bill HR1, aka the One Big Beautiful Bill, there was $2.9 billion set aside for the BAH that was supposed to increase your monthly amount that you are receiving in your check tax-free. Do you understand that?
Yes, and they
Okay,
are tax free.
so
Every single
now,
month it's tax free.
but the Warrior dividend took that $2.9 billion in congressionally approved funds and gave it to you as a one-time payment that is now subject to taxes on your 2026 tax filing for the year 2025.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. No problem with that.
So he
All
does
right, man.
understand.
Well, I'm sorry. Most of the military members that I know like more money. I guess you like less money. But hey, if you're all for
I like
Donald
the
Trump
fact that
giving you less money, then fucking go for it, dude. It doesn't change any of the stuff that like you're saying your pay has increased, morale has increased, equipment has gotten better. All of that was because of funding under the Biden administration. Again, not a single dollar of the funding that Joe Biden or that Donald Trump has approved, outside of again your screwed up little like bonus that you got, has taken any effect.
well, I'm still okay with that. I mean, granted, military members under this administration are taken care of. I don't know what the hell has happened in the last 4 years, but I can tell you right now, we had people dropping out left and right. We had recruitment numbers that were well
numbers were
below
through the
standard,
roof.
well below the goal,
Recruitment
and now
numbers
they're
were
not
through the
only
roof.
exceeding recruiting
Recruitment
goals.
numbers last year were through the roof.
What are you talking about?
I'm
They
talking
weren't,
about
man.
the
They were
recruitment
below.
numbers
They
that
were
have been
so
reported by the
below.
Department of
It,
Defense for 2024 showed that the recruitment numbers were through the roof. Not to mention, okay, Joe Biden gave the highest military pay raise since Bush #2. All right. On top of, and that was just the yearly pay raise. On top of that, there was an extra pay, which obviously, apparently,
You're
for
awesome.
junior members of the military, where they had a significant pay increase during that. Right. We had increases to the defense budget every single year under the Biden administration. Like, honestly, Biden was so good at the military. I kind of wish he was a little bit less.
for starters, I don't know what you're on about. The Army was under 55,000 recruits. Now for 2025, they're over 61,000. That's a 10% increase on what they anticipated. And then you're talking about, Navy, similar numbers. Marines, forget about it, man. No one was joining the military under Biden. But maybe if you're referring to the surge in late 2024 in recruiting numbers, yeah, that definitely happened.
I'm
But the
just
problem
curious.
is when you have a leadership that is enforcing political ideology and not readiness. And readiness has been a huge part of this administration. Readiness to fight, readiness to deploy, readiness to basically defend your country if need be. That was not happening under Biden. I can tell you that firsthand. So yes, military-wise, and I can speak for the vast majority of us, is a lot
No,
better
you
under
can't.
under Trump than it was Biden,
No, you can't.
bar
If I
none.
if
I've
I
been in
can.
7 years,
Mm.
so I saw what it was
Ooh,
like in
7
Trump
years.
1, then I saw what it was like in Biden, and I saw what was under Trump. There's no comparison.
Two
Military
things.
is way better under Trump's administration.
Okay, two
100%.
things. All right. The graduating class that is coming out now and in next year as well from all of the military schools, what year did they enroll?
Are you talking about the military academy?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't care about them. I'm enlisted.
Oh, okay.
Like anyone
So
who's
no,
worked
no,
with
that's
in the
not the.
military,
Sorry.
they're enlisted.
Okay, sorry. Let's try this again. I know you said you don't care. I'm asking you a question to see if you know.
Sure.
The individuals that
Well,
are going to be graduating from the military academy this year and over the next 3 years, when did they enroll?
in the Biden administration.
Under the Biden administration that Donald Trump is actively taking account, like credit for at their graduation with his speeches, saying that you guys
Okay,
all
so
came in because I was going to be president, which is factually inaccurate because they would have enrolled in 2021
after Biden was elected and sworn into office. Also, you mentioned political ideology being pushed by the president in some way, like that they weren't doing that. Donald Trump is actively going to military bases, speaking to military commanders, and making it inherently a political speech to an apolitical group, which is not something that's supposed to be allowed. And I feel as though you should know that.
Yeah, I got the Army recruitment
Okay,
numbers right here.
so
Yeah,
hold on.
hold on, sir. I got the Army
Sorry,
recruitment
let me
numbers right
respond
here.
really quickly.
Yeah, they were over
So
100% last year. Just thought I'd let you know that.
So in terms of the military academies, and these are, obviously like college-aged individuals. Treat this like you were going to college, okay? They have, they only accept what, like 10% of applicants, if that. I mean, it is very, very difficult to get into one of these academies. So to say like they're, yeah. If you were planning on joining, a military academy in 2021, who was the president then? That was Trump. I mean, it doesn't make any, I'm sorry, but by the time you were applying for it in 2020 and then going in at 2021, you made that decision during the Trump administration. Now, granted, if I had that path in my life and I wanted to, go to college and go to a service academy, that's probably something that I would want since I was like 14 or 15, because this is what you really need to get into those academies. But yes, is Biden, Trump,
You
Obama,
typically
Bush,
apply
they all
for
make
college
political
6 months
campaign speeches
before, and even
at
then, when
military.
college starts in August, 6 months prior to August is still February
No,
2021.
this. What are you talking about? Like, sir, recruitment numbers were over 100% in the Army last year. Over
For
100%.
fiscal 2024, they were
Mm-hmm.
down 55,000 recruits. This is numbers
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
have the
here.
numbers
They were
on the
down.
screen from recruiting.army.mil for everyone to see.
Okay, hold on. I'm not looking at this screen right now.
100.27% of the 2024 fiscal year goals, 100.27% of active duty of regular Army.
Okay.
Undo that.
Yep. All right. No, I'm saying that, and I'm also saying that the Army has already met their 2025 recruiting goals back in June. So you're telling me that in the 5 months that Trump was president, he was able to make their quota in 4 full months. That's pretty
Sir,
impressive.
military recruitment is a lot more. It has a lot more to do with financial situation than it has to do with anything else. You understand that, right?
I think a lot of it has to do with ideology. Are you
Incorrect.
willing to fight and die for your country? I mean,
Incorrect.
most people who say yes, yeah, of course there's a financial incentive. There's a benefit incentive. That's why I joined
No.
up.
I
But the
think it was
problem at
something
the end
like
of the
I think
day,
the last military poll, sir, or something like that showed that like less than 20% of the military joined for ideological reasons.
I
It was
mean,
literally
primarily
for
probably.
steady paycheck. It was for the benefits. It was for VA
Well, hell
benefits,
yeah, that's
education
one of the
benefits. It
perks,
was for
man.
all of that. Less than like
Totally one of
20%
the
were
perks.
actually because of ideological reasons.
I mean, ideological in the sense of politics, maybe. But if you love your country and want to fight for your country, is that ideology?
Sir, people want to fight
Ideology?
for their
Sure.
country
But
regardless
I
of who
would
the
say
president
that
is. Are you
I would
saying that
say
Americans
90%
stopped loving their
90%
country
of the
under
men.
Biden? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying 90% of the men and women that I work with in the military love their country and put their country first
Really?
before
I would think it would be
before any other job.
100%.
I'm sorry? What
I
was
would
that?
think it would be 100%.
No, some people are there just for the money and the benefits, but honestly, that's
Other
like a
jobs
very
have
small
money and
percentage,
benefits.
in my opinion. Now, I'm also like I'm not also in an operational rate. So I'm actually like getting my hands dirty and I'm on the ground. I'm
Oh
working with
yeah,
a
you're a
lot
big
of
man.
different kinds of
Yep.
people. I don't know what they're doing on the admin side of it or what kind of people are there. I rarely go into an office when I'm on duty. The point is, there are very different groups of military people, minded
Sir,
people in the
I can
service.
listen to your
I think
anecdotes
that,
about your friends or whatever, and honestly, like with all due respect, thank you for your service, but I really couldn't give a shit. Just completely honestly. Okay.
so you don't give a shit about my service? Okay,
No,
thank
I
you for
said
that.
thank you for your
The,
service. I don't give a fuck about your anecdote.
okay, well,
Okay,
firsthand
because you're
experience
just
is,
saying all
you
of
know,
my friends are, or I can talk for all military. No, you fucking can't, sir.
no,
Sir,
I never said
sir,
that. I'm not going to speak for, I'm speaking for
sir,
the majority of people
sir,
I know,
what percentage
100%.
of active duty military says they're Democrats?
Oh, less than 10%, man.
It's over
Very,
30%.
very seldom.
It's over 30%. See, and this is why I'm
33.
saying,
Yeah,
this is why I'm
doubt
saying,
it.
sir, you have no ability to speak for all of the military. So let's talk about things that we can prove, right? Who
Okay,
gave
great.
larger
Let's talk
raises
about
to
NATO.
no? So who gave
Let's talk
larger
about
raises to
NATO.
the who gave larger raises
All
to the
right.
military? Trump or Biden?
Well, considering that the inflation is tied to military pay and inflation was high during Biden's administration, yeah, Biden, because just
Okay,
like
cool.
Social Security,
Okay,
it's tied
according to Biden,
inflation.
Trump's first term and Biden's term, who had a larger defense budget?
Couldn't tell me. I don't know.
It was Biden. Okay, who gave the largest raise again, percentage-wise, since the Bush administration? That would be Biden. Okay,
Yeah, and
all
it
of
was
these things
tied to
happen under
inflation,
all of
just like
these things
Social
happen under
Security.
Biden,
It's
sir.
all tied to
So all you're
inflation.
saying, sir, shh, I 7 years in the military. You should have learned a little discipline, right? All right, cool. Thank you.
Continue.
I think I should be allowed to get my sentence out. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What I am saying, sir, is all you're saying is you like Trump more. And that's totally fine, sir. I'm totally okay with you being a military member that likes Trump, okay? But just coming up and just saying a bunch of bullshit about how he helps the military doesn't really help anything. It doesn't really get anywhere. And you saying you speak for all military members or saying this and all that sort of
I
stuff.
don't.
Your little anecdotes just really don't hold any water, okay?
All right, that's fine. Then let's talk about something we
Can you remind me who passed the
actually,
PACT
you know,
Act?
find statistics on.
Oh,
NATO.
I didn't
Let's
want to
talk
get into
about NATO,
veteran
for
stuff,
example.
but we can get into veteran stuff.
Well, I mean, I was just curious. Wasn't that Biden?
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure.
I didn't hear what
Donald
you guys were
Trump.
talking
Hold on,
about.
sir. I am sure Donald Trump, the multiple-time draft dodger, right? The one who called prisoners of war suckers and losers because he doesn't like his veterans shot down, who refused to visit this World War II cemetery in France. I am sure that guy is just super pro-military. They should totally follow him all the way through.
And wasn't there when we were flying in the 4 military members that died in a training accident in Lithuania?
Yeah, also that. But
Wasn't
anyways,
there for that.
what else did you want to talk about?
Let's talk about NATO, for example.
Sure,
I
let's
think
talk about
NATO
it.
is a perfect example of forcing other countries to basically increase their spending, their 5% of GDP, for actual defense of NATO, of European countries. That's one thing I totally agree with Trump on. NATO members should be paying more for their own defense. Why are we constantly footing the bill, or the vast majority of the bill, when these people, I'm talking about the European nations, are benefiting it from the most? So Trump comes in and says, hey guys, pay more. And guess what? They did. Otherwise, we would have
They
backed out
actually
of NATO,
didn't.
and I would have had no problem with that.
Well, he did, but they didn't. Yeah, so he came
The
in
NATO
and
members-
I have no problem with an increase in NATO spending. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with, NATO countries increasing their spending. I don't have an issue with that
Great, we
whatsoever.
agree on that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. I have no problem with the U.S. president going over there and trying to make them do that, right? I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Awesome.
The
Then that
problem
is
is
one
that there's
success that we can agree on.
sir. The problem is that none of these countries in any way, shape, or form have freaking put it anywhere in writing that they are actually going to do that. Actually, multiple countries have specifically come out and said, we are absolutely not doing that. And there was a specific clause that Donald Trump put in that little handshake agreement that he had. He made it specifically to say that the next time we're going to check on the military spending of the NATO countries, it's going to be 2029. Do you know why 2029 is significant?
Why is 2029?
Because Donald Trump won't be president anymore. He made sure to specifically make it where we did not have to make a check on any of these countries actually increasing their spending until after Donald Trump had left office. Do you know the reason why he did that? Because he knows
wants
they're
be
not
held
going to fucking
accountable
do it.
when
Because he
doesn't go
knows they're
through.
not going to do it. Okay, he knows they're not going to do
Then we
it.
should pull,
And
then
he
we
wants,
should pull out of
and,
NATO.
and then
If-
he wants to
if
say
NATO is not providing us what we need, then we should get rid of them.
NATO's
Like,
providing a
what's
whole
the
bunch of
point
what we need.
NATO?
They're providing a significant thing of what they need. What do we need from NATO?
Yeah, what benefit do they have to us?
Yeah, I was
None.
asking you that. You
They're-
said they're
if
not providing
anything,
us what
they're-
we need. What do we need then?
Why do we need them? We don't.
Why do we need them?
We have bases
Perfect.
in Germany. We have
Because-
bases in Italy. We have bases all over the world.
Yeah,
Why do we
those
need
are
NATO? We
NATO
can fight our own wars.
bases, sir. Those bases in Italy, those bases in Germany are NATO bases. Thank you for proving the point.
No, they're U.S. run bases.
They
We
are
run them. Yeah, they're NATO
NATO bases, sir. NATO bases.
And yeah, they may have NATO members, that are there, but we're the ones calling the shots. We're the ones running the show. If you've ever been on a U.S. military base in another country,
Yes, I
where
have.
there's
I've been
other
stationed at
NATO
one. Okay.
members,
Yeah,
yeah,
they are
let me
NATO
tell you right
bases,
now,
sir.
they don't
The
do
only
crap.
reason that we
They
have
do
those
their
presence there,
jumping jacks.
sir, the reason why we have that presence there is because of NATO. That is a huge reason why we have one. Okay. Yeah, but multiple reasons that exist of that, right? We have a coalition of countries that's stationed across the Atlantic in case we have aggressors like Russia that exist within a nation, right? That we have a huge stopping point before they get to our shores. It works as a national defense thing. It works as a shared intelligence thing, right? Where right now under the Trump administration, we're seeing specifically that countries are reporting that they're not sharing the intelligence that they usually share with the United States because they can't trust the United States to actually keep that intelligence. Right? Because we have people like Pete Hegseth that are sharing classified documents or classified things over Signal, or Donald Trump telegraphing, attacks in Iran before they happen, right? Allowing places like Iran to remove their stuff before they even get there. So we're already seeing like a lot of our intelligence and all this sort of stuff that we get from those countries disintegrating in front of our eyes, right? We're seeing a military cooperation, right, between joint exercises that are no longer happening, right? Our support, this is saying that we don't understand why alliances make sense is just so incredibly like nationalistic and narcissistic, really.
We also see other
it's
countries
not to say,
declaring the United States of America a national security threat to their security, like Denmark. We've also seen other countries cancel their orders on the F-35. And I actually,
yeah,
I'm going to allow you
agree.
to
Listen,
address
we've also,
everything that Polly just said. I
well,
do have a question afterwards if we get to it.
okay. Listen, are we going to need allies around the world? Absolutely. But when there's an allied, force, we have to have an equal partnership. We can't just assume responsibility and assume we're going to pay everything. If we look at Ukraine, for example, how many billions of dollars did we send to Ukraine before NATO started chipping in? It wasn't until Trump was in office
Zero.
and then NATO started footing the bill.
That's
Incorrect.
factually
It's
incorrect.
incredible. It's incredible to
That is
think that we
factually
can just
incorrect.
provide billions of dollars, trillions of dollars for the military,
Sir.
for other countries' military defense. And I'm
Sir.
sorry, but
Sir.
there's a
Sir.
distinction between someone like Taiwan, who is a genuine threat on their doorstep, versus someone like Germany and Russia. I'm sorry, it's not the same. It is
Sir,
not the same.
do you know
And
under
if
the
we're
Biden
talking, and if we're
administration,
ta-
the European Union outpaced U.S. spending when it came to Ukraine?
I'm sorry.
Under the Biden administration, NATO spend EU spending in Ukraine outpaced the United States.
Not to mention the
When did
other
that happen?
industrialized nations that were just in partnership with NATO and the EU.
Yeah, EU paid
Those were separate.
EU paid way more than NATO. The EU and NATO countries in Europe paid significantly more than the United States did under the Biden administration. I don't know who taught you something, taught you otherwise, but that's ridiculous. But it really doesn't actually even sound like you understand how NATO funding works.
That's where I was going to ask,
No,
actually.
I understand if there's a joint operation that involves NATO and U.S.
I'm not talking about
under
operational. I said funding.
five-
How does NATO
Well, if
funding
we're talking
work?
about funding. We're talking.
Yeah.
We're
What is
we're
what is
talking
Hold on,
about
we're exactly
NATO
talking about
paying
funding.
a smaller percentage of their GDP than the U.S.
okay?
No?
And
Okay,
I'm
sure.
sorry,
Let's
but
challenge
if we're
that.
going to have an
Okay.
equal relationship
The f-
with these individual countries, they need to be footing the bill, and they
Real
weren't,
quick.
and they're not.
Okay, 5% of their GDP. Where does that go? So let's just use the UK as an example. UK has pledged
Sure.
to do 5% of their GDP. Where does that 5% go?
To their military.
To their military, right? It doesn't go to
Yes.
this cumulative bucket of funding, which means that even if they were only spending, let's just say 3.2%, I don't remember where the United Kingdom falls on the scale, but I'm just going to give it an arbitrary number for this example. Even if they're using 3.2% of their annual GDP to spend on their own military defense force, that is not the United States footing the bill, who, by the way, currently only spends 3.57% of our GDP on our own military defense forces. So if they're
We're
contributing
also
around
20 times the
about
size of
3%,
England.
we're not funding them in any way, shape, or form. Realistically, they're buying from us, or at least they were. Now they're trying to buy from Canada.
who
They
buys
weren't.
from
We
us.
weren't footing the bill. They were literally purchasing from us. That we were a part. We made up part of their 3% of their GDP spending back into their own defense.
And more importantly than that, you're saying they weren't spending that amount of GDP. They were. Like, I don't know where we're getting this. Like, you're getting this idea that they weren't. We weren't even the number one country when it came to percentage of GDP that was even spending in NATO. I think Poland was actually higher than us. And I think Germany was actually another one that was
For
higher
good
than us.
reason.
We were at like 3.5%. Like, those countries were at like 3.8, 3.9, 3.7% of their GDP that they were spending on their own defense. And almost every single country was either at or above that 2% mark. There were a few stragglers, right, that were underneath it. But honestly, if Liechtenstein only pays 1.2%, I don't think that's really going to hurt us, like, change much in the war, to be completely honest with you, all right? Like, this whole, like,
the
they're not
idea
paying
of
their fair share thing is just a joke, right? They were paying their fair share. And if we want to increase that fair share to 5%, I got no issue with that. But all of us need to agree on that. And there would have to be some check on that. And Trump hasn't done any of that.
Actually, so Poland's at
Look,
4.48. I went
if I
ahead
may
and pulled it
respond
up.
really
Poland's
quickly,
at
Ari.
4.48%. Latvia's 3.73. Lithuania's 4. Estonia's 3.38. Norway's 3.35. Denmark is 3.22. Tied with the United States at 3.22%. So I was off on the percentage that we spend.
No, and listen, at the end of the day, what we're trying to get is for them to spend more so we do not have to always rush to their defense. And this is the problem with England. I mean, they could not survive a war on their own. They do not have the military readiness to do so. And I think that's very indicative of their just general operations. And yeah, they have very good special forces. They have some of the best in the world, but that cannot sustain a war. You know what sustains a war? Aircraft carriers,
Yeah, sure.
hundreds of planes,
You don't
hundreds
want
of
us
ships.
to have to
Who has
rush
those?
to their
We have
defense.
those. They couldn't touch us.
Sir,
They couldn't
sir,
get
sir,
close
sir.
to us in
So
terms
you,
of our
sir,
spending.
sir. So you don't want us to have to rush to their defense,
I
correct?
want the
So
U.S. to
are
be
you
in a
familiar with
position where we
Article
don't
5
have
of the
to
NATO
rush to
agreement?
anybody's defense.
Yeah, are you familiar with Article
I
5 of the
want,
NATO agreement?
yeah, we have to. Yeah, that's the whole point of NATO. We have to show up when they're attacked.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
why
And
Ukraine
there's
was
only
trying
been
to be
one
part of
country,
NATO.
sir. There's only been one country that's ever implemented Article 5 of the NATO agreement. Who was that?
England, back during the Falklands
Incorrect.
War.
Try again.
When was it? When was it?
Huh? It was the United States after 9/11. Yeah, is the only country in the history of NATO, in the history of Article 5, who has ever called upon anybody else to fight on their behalf. So when you're talking about, oh, I don't want to have to rush to their
Yeah,
defense,
and
we literally never have had to, and they have had to rush to our defense.
great. Bush was a terrible president. 9/11 was, an awful thing. Invading Iraq was
Did that
completely
point just
illegal
fly
and
in
immoral. I
one
think
ear
we
and
all.
out the
I
other,
don't think
sir?
anyone alive today is going to defend that. But the point of the matter is, yeah, we called on NATO when we didn't know what the hell was going on, who was attacking us. Well, I mean, that
They
depends how
fought
you
with
look
us
at
for
it.
20
But
years.
at the end of the day, NATO is there not for not for it's for their defense, not for our defense, their defense, and they're the ones who need
That's
to be
so
footing the bill.
it's so crazy how, like, it's like we need to do better in the United States at teaching history. Like, we truly do need to get better in this country in teaching history.
Okay,
Sir, yeah, when
how so?
Germany attacked Poland and tried to take over Europe, yeah, that was not our fucking problem until it fucking was. Right?
When
The
was it our
entire
problem?
reason why we created NATO, all right, is because if something like that happens again, if a country tries to invade the European continent, yeah, we can ignore it for a little bit. Okay, but sooner or later it becomes our problem. And it's better to have a deterrence against that problem well prior to it. The reason why NATO is so important and so strong, okay, is because everybody is afraid to fight all of us combined. Right? And yes, we are a very, very scary nation, especially as far as our military is concerned. Most likely the scariest, hopefully that stays the scariest for as long as possible, while China is, drastically trying to catch us, right? But currently we are the scariest military in the world, right? But we're a lot scarier when we have Germany, when we have the UK, when we have Italy, when we have Poland, all in an agreement saying, hey, if you attack any single one of us, we're all going to attack you. All of those countries combined is stronger than one, okay? And you're right, that does help protect, Okay, that does help protect small countries like Latvia or countries like Estonia that maybe on a military standpoint couldn't, stand up to Russia. And yes, maybe in the long run, we are giving more benefit to them than they're going to give to us just based off of the percentage of GDP and the size of the military that we give. That is correct, sir. But I guarantee you also on top of that, we need every single one of those fucking NATO countries if BRICS decides to attack us, right? If the BRICS nations all get together, which is the alliance that will challenge the United States, that will challenge things like NATO, which will challenge things like the EU. If all of those BRICS nations get together, they are a force to be reckoned with. And us just disbanding our allies and treating our allies like they're shit and freaking making alliance and freaking spreading Russian propaganda does everything to decrease our national security. It does everything to decrease our ability to stand on our own.
Okay, we don't need NATO. NATO needs us. I think that's very clear.
That
If
is
someone were to
bullshit,
invade
short-sighted,
Lithuania,
and shows
that's
that you
their
have no
problem, not
understanding
ours.
of national
We should not
security.
have
Or
American. We
history
should
for
not
Yeah,
that
have
of
matter.
national
American troops on
security
the
or
ground
history.
defending a country
Like,
that isn't
and
ours.
so
I'm
on
sorry.
this
That's how I
source
feel.
that I found, I have this beautiful little chart that they have specifically about Ukraine, since he wanted to bring up Ukraine and Russia. Can you take a guess at how much we spend per capita in the United States on aid for Ukraine?
Whatever it is, it's too much. Plain and simple.
$382. Would you like to guess who the
Yeah,
top
too much.
the top country is and how much they spend?
Enlighten me.
Denmark at 1,944, followed by Norway at $1,405,000, Sweden at $845, Estonia at $757, and the list goes on. There are so many more
What
countries
are
that
their
are spending
populations
more
collectively compared to ours?
Yes. What does per capita mean?
No, but I'm asking what's their
What does
collective
per
population
capita mean? In order to understand what I'm
person.
saying, you have to understand what per capita is.
per person, correct?
No, per 100,000.
Okay. Okay, per 100,000.
Because
Great.
that's
What's
how
their
we have to
population versus ours?
measure. So per 100,000, the United States pays $382 for aid to Ukraine. Per 100,000 in Denmark, they spend almost $2,000.
And let's
Okay,
be clear.
great.
Can I address
What's
something in the
Denmark's
chat real quick?
population?
Can I address something in the chat real quick? I'm seeing a lot of people say stolen valor, and I don't believe this is stolen valor. I truly don't. Okay? What people need to understand is being enlisted in the military does not make you a professional on national security. It does not make you a professional at world affairs. It does not make you a professional at international relations. It makes you a professional in zero of those things, okay? They will let anybody with a 30 ASVAB score into the fucking army, okay? You do not
No, the
have to be
Marines.
intelligent to join the military. You don't have to understand any of this stuff. You have to be able to point your gun in one direction and try not to hit your friends, okay? So
And take
Or
orders.
people make it seem like for some reason like, oh, I'm in the military or I did serve in the military is somehow some type of like authoritative like, oh, now I'm a professional on this. Dude, most military people don't even know where the fuck they're doing tomorrow. They sure as hell don't know if we're going to fucking war, and they sure as hell don't understand a stand of freaking geopolitics or national security, okay? They just know they're moving sandbags from one place to the other. And I respect every single one of our military people, okay? I think that anybody who signs that name to that piece of paper, right? Anybody who signs that name to that piece of paper and signs up to support our country, I have mad respect for, regardless of how low your ASVAB score is and why you join the army, okay? I have mad respect.
Just for the record,
sir, hold
my
on, sir.
ASVAB
You can
score was
do stuff to the
90.
record when I'm done talking. I have mad
Oh, I didn't
respect,
realize
sir.
you were
You can again discipline, okay? Thank you. Yeah, I have mad respect for anybody that joins the military. I have the utmost respect for our military. I think we should pay our military twice as much for the shit that we put our military to, 100%, right? I really, really, truly do, right? And I hope the best for them, and I hope they all stay safe, right? Especially when they're under attack, especially our National Guardsmen that are under attack in American cities from deployments they should not be on, right? But at that same time, please don't make it sound like at some point, like just because you're in the military or had joined the military at some point, I thank you for your service. I think that you're a great American, and that does not make you a professional.
Listen, at the end of the day, what I want is for our country to be safe. And
Me too.
personally, I feel much safer under a Trump administration than a Biden administration. And you can talk about, funding, NATO, we can talk about that all day. But what really matters is the morale of our military, because those are the people that have to wake up one morning and then go fight a war. Okay. This is something that we all have to live with. And for all the, listen, I'm not listening to the comments. I'm on my phone. So anyone who wants to, suggest stolen valor, okay, great. Go out and sign your name to that paper. Be an American. Go fight and die for your country. Like, that's what we do. That's what we signed up to do. And, like, there's nothing that can, otherwise phase me. Like, that's what I did. That's what I knew I was getting myself into. But at the end of the day, I feel much more secure knowing Trump is in office than Biden. That's my personal opinion. That's how I feel. That's why I support Trump. I will always support my commander in chief, no matter who it is. I may not like the person, but I'm still going to listen to an order. That's what we do. But right now, when we're talking about, national security across the board, things are much better at the border. Things are much better in Ukraine, Russia. Hell, things got a hell of a lot better in Gaza when Trump took office. So there's systematically a lot of things that got better when Trump was in office.
The border has nothing to
And
do with active duty military. Things have not gotten better between Russia and Ukraine. Actually, casualties in Ukraine have skyrocketed since Donald Trump took office, so they have not gotten
back to
better
the border. I'm
whatsoever.
sorry, what did you
And
say
when it
about
comes
the
to
border?
Gaza and Palestine, yes, there is a ceasefire, one of many that has already been broken. But again, U.S. military members are not there. How about we talk about where U.S. military members are? They're bombing Nigeria.
At the border.
They're setting up blockades in Venezuela. They're being killed on the streets of
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. in unnecessary appointments. Like, what are you talking about, sir? You're
All
talking
right.
about
I'm
wars
talking
that the
about
U.S.
we
You're
do.
talking about things that
Okay.
have nothing to do with the U.S. military, and you're using that as a crux for your feelings about Donald Trump. Again, sir, if you want to have your feelings, that's fine. Your feelings don't translate to the military. Your feelings don't speak for anybody else in the military, and they sure as hell don't speak for the whole military. The things I am telling you are
I
facts. These are
couldn't disagree with you
factual
more. I
pieces
couldn't
of
disagree with you
data.
more. How we feel on a day-to-day
No,
basis is
you're
how we
not
do our
we.
job.
How
And
you
I'm
feel,
talking
sir.
I'm talking about
You do
I'm
not
talking about
speak
every
for
person on this planet.
you,
If you
sir.
have good morale going into your job, that means you're going to work harder,
You have
you're
no
going to work
data to show
longer,
that
and
morale
you're
is
going
up
to
in the
care more
military.
about the
You
work
have
that you
no
do.
data to show that morale is up in the military. Zero.
Are feelings
All right.
empirical data?
Yes, 100%. Because you can gauge because you can gauge how people feel on a certain thing. Like, you feel abortion is, perfectly fine. Some people feel that abortion is, immoral. Like, there are feelings. That's how we base our whole belief system on something. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, if we want to talk about the border, for example, we do have military at the border. You may not know this, but yes, we have active operations on the border right now that are stopping cartel members from crossing. We're stopping drugs from crossing. We're stopping from illegal migrants from crossing. So yes, we do have military operations at the
Gotcha.
border right now,
Perfect.
100%.
So you're saying that
And in
Donald Trump is
terms of
breaking the law.
Iran,
Perfect.
Venezuela,
I appreciate that.
whomever,
Can you
we're
actually
talking
send
about
can
we're
you
talk-
can you actually
we're
send
talking
me
about
that info?
terrorist
I'd
states.
love to have it because that's literally proof that Donald Trump is breaking the law.
How so?
Because the U.S. active duty military isn't allowed to do that according to the law.
No, we're not allowed
Yes.
to. No. We are not allowed to engage in law enforcement operations.
Yes, and the things you just
That is-
described are law enforcement actions.
Protecting the border, that is not law enforcement.
Oh, really?
Absolutely not.
Then, sir, then why do we have the ability to protect the border?
Because it's national sovereignty. That's
It's
why.
national sovereignty. What says that we have the ability to protect our border?
What do you mean? What says?
Yeah, what says that we have the ability to do it?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah,
What
the
do you mean
law
we're not allowed
does,
to
sir.
defend our
Illegal
border?
entry is against
Oh,
the
I don't know the
law.
specific law.
So
Do you know the
stopping,
specific law?
sir, it's against the law. So stopping someone for illegal entry is a law enforcement action.
There's specifically
says we're stopping-
437 laws just about immigration at the federal level.
Who said it? You did. You just said it.
Wait. Okay, yes. The U.S. military, we have active operations at the border, 100%. This is not, you can look it up online, whether it's the Coast Guard, Army, Marines, maybe the Navy, I'm not sure. If you count Venezuela, maybe. But at the end of the day, the military 100% has the ability
Gotcha.
to protect
And does the
border
active duty
against
military have the
invasion.
ability to have active operations on U.S. soil according to the law?
Who says we're on U.S. soil? We're on
Oh, so we're
other
invading
people's soil.
Mexico. Feels like that would be pretty top secret.
Yeah,
Doesn't
for
seem
the
like you
most
should be saying
part.
that
Yeah.
online.
Hey, if the cartel's operating on
You know
our
what?
side,
I
why
disagree.
can't we
You know what?
operate
I
on
go
their
back
side?
on all that shit I just said, chat, about not being stolen valor. I 100% believe this is stolen valor because there is no
Okay.
fucking way in shape or form that an active duty military would be coming over here saying they are violating the law, they are violating the Insurrection
I never
Act,
said it
they
was.
are
It's
violating
not.
all
It's
sort
not.
of breaking the
Where
laws
does
of
it say
armed
the law?
conflict and literally spreading what would be top secret information about operations that are going on in Mexico
It's
all at the
it's
same time.
really
There
not.
is
It's
no
really
way.
not.
And sir, if you are in the active duty military, I would advise you to get off this live because you are just providing more evidence for your court martial.
Okay, great. Thank you for yeah. Okay, whatever the case may be, whatever law you might be referring to that doesn't exist, but 100% the military can defend its border.
Posse
What do you
comitatus.
think?
Posse comitatus and the Insurrection Act don't exist.
Yeah.
You're not aware of
You're not aware of Title 10 or Title 18 laws that specifically govern the United States military?
You know what? All right, we can go into this with him, but it sounds like he's ready to get off the call, and I would advise that he does that. As somebody who actually does love our military, I would advise that you probably get off.
Hey, I'm a military brat. I love y'all too. Holla.
Bye.
All right, well,
Well, that was interesting.
That was something. That was something, bro. Like it was. And again, like I said, people aren't always just because you're in the military, you've served in the military, and like, again, matter of respect for everybody that does it. But come on, give me a break, dude. Just because you aren't doesn't mean that you're special. It doesn't mean that you have some expertise. It doesn't matter you have anything. They don't teach like graduate level, geopolitics in basic training. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't happen, right? But the dude was literally starting to admit to crimes and fucking crimes against the Constitution, like on live. Like, dude, give me a fucking break, man. Like, for real. Like, that's
Okay, so while it was not a full decision on the legality of the deployment of National Guard troops in U.S. cities, it's the stepping stone up for when it reaches the actual United States Supreme Court for them to give a full decision instead of the shadow docket that that's a whole different thing that's been being ran. They clearly said that he not only he violated posse comitatus, he violated the own law that they tried to utilize in order to justify the action of the deployment of the National Guard to United States cities. Like, they laid the groundwork for their future decision in a 6-3 decision where, of course, the dissents were, no surprise, Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. We're gonna run through a few super chats real quick. We're gonna get this thing going, and we're gonna keep going, y'all. We get to do a little longer lives when we're here together. It's pretty impressive. So if y'all are here and you guys are enjoying the live, first of all, thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you're following the other one if you, depending on which chat you're on Polypolitics on Twitch and TikTok, and Polypolitics 1.0 on YouTube.
Mermaid.Ari on TikTok, MermaidAri0 on YouTube and Twitch. Sorry, my handle was already taken.
No, that's why I'm 1.0 on YouTube. Don't worry about it. Real Patriot, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said MAGA equals PDF supporters. Yeah, well, that's a whole other conversation to have. Thank you so much. Rich, thank you so much. Says Trump supporters don't ever question why 100 billion of their taxes are going to Israel, to be honest. But hey, let's get real worried about Ukraine, right? Let's be super concerned about the people dying in Ukraine. But let's not worry about that. Or the billions of dollars going to Elon Musk. That's a whole other thing. Jeff said, left your server because y'all didn't like me. That's your stalker. My bad. I was like, what the heck is this guy talking about?
He knows it's not true.
Jay Lee, thank you so much. On both 666. Wow. Did we have 666 on both for a while? That was really cool.
Yeah. No, he sent it twice. He
said it twice? 666 in the chat. Hell yeah, y'all. I really appreciate you. 13 Dot said, I like this. Both of you in the same space. I like it too. How are you guys enjoying it so much? Let me know in the chat how you guys are feeling about it. Luis, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Huge W's in the chat for Luis for that. So this is a lethal combination. And then you guys, for everything I've learned from all of you, Merry Christmas. You need a new hat. We still need to get that P.O. box so he can send me a hat. But I got to give him a Puerto Puerto Rico. We got to give it to him in that. I really appreciate that, Luis.
We're
Thank you so
working on
much.
that, Luis.
We are.
I literally have the application for a PO box in my drawer. My
We gotta
bad.
get on it over here. Thank you so much, Luis. I really appreciate that. Rich, thank you so much for the $5. Is any of this important? Our taxes are going to Israel, bro. Like we're our skin color. We are all victims under Trump. Yeah, and that's the definite truth. That's for sure. Jonathan said a quick Google search can solve all of MAGA's answers.
I do sort of disagree with that because you have to do a little bit more than surface level searching.
Yeah, no, but what they do is they Google search it and then they just keep scrolling until they find the one that they like.
That's true too.
Yeah, so that's a little different. Feisty says, I'm a feminist. Oh, that other guy wasn't. I'll tell you that much.
The first two guys.
Yeah.
Also 6'7" for the
6'7",
Twitch chat.
Oh, I didn't even see that. 6'7". Thank you so much, Kramer.
Thanks, Kramer.
Rich said, bro got a $1,700 check and called Trump daddy, bro. That's all it took. That's all. You ever heard that whole thing? Like, how much would I have to get paid in order to? Apparently, the answer for that guy was $1,700.
Very
That
easy.
That guy.
Easy work, my guy.
Yeah, easy work. Redwood, thank you so much for the $20. Said, can't thank you enough for
awesome.
doing the heavy lifting. White blockheads are heavy. Can't thank you enough for doing the heavy lifting. Okay, you did that again. Thank you so much, Redwood. I really appreciate that. Jen, thank you so much for the $5. Said, Maggie, you're nothing but a bunch of effing clowns. Yeah, that's for sure. Louise, thank you so much for the $20. Said, all MAGA in Spanish. To see you later, something we say. Si se lo mete gritan y si se los tan. Oh, I can't pronounce that last one. That's on you. Your pronunciation.
Okay.
Doesn't.
Si
Hold on,
se
where'd
le mente gritan
your
y
camera's
si
off.
se lo. Yours has been. Oh wow. Why'd you? Oh my gosh, it's being dumb.
Your camera is off.
Well, we know how to fix that. Was it not detecting movement? So it was like, hey,
There we go. We got her back.
I'm alive.
Angie
Again.
said, love playing R2D2. 85. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. Phantom said, real question is, where is the pretzel, Ari? Do you have a pretzel? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, my pretzel was stolen by Bailey. So I'll get him back. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll have to find that in a bit. Lee Hughes, thank you again for the 666. I appreciate that. Said pivot, pivot, pivot. After knowing the only one they called Article 5, pivot, pivot, pivot. Yeah, UK, I'd never heard that answer before. That was a new one. Phantom says, Ari is 100% a rock star. I agree. Parker says, thank you for the gifted subs, y'all. You're the best.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out, Parkers. I don't know how many gifted subs were set over on Twitch because it's very hard to see that chat right now, but thank you so much for all of the gifted subs over there.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for that, y'all. I appreciate that. Bradley, thank you so much for the $5. Said, so glad to hear from some raw car logistics NCO. Polly Goat, thank you so much. Dave said, would you like a train fact tonight? I think we're gonna skip the train fact tonight, Dave, just because we're trying out this new things, but we'll definitely get back to him. Feisty says, say hi to Polly's stream for me. You can just go say hi yourself. It's going on right now. You don't have to.
Totally valid.
Yeah, you can just leave it alone. But Feisty says hi over there, y'all.
So it was Phantom and Mad. Thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate that so much.
Oh yeah. And Pumpkin, thank you so much for the New Year's Eve. And I don't know how to pronounce this one, but thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate that. Also remember, again, if you guys are over on the YouTube, there are both streams still running. What? Oh, gotcha.
Tara sent us both
well,
mutually. Okay, sorry.
I was not talking about that. I was saying hello. If you guys are in the landscape or you guys are in the portrait live, make sure you guys can check out the other one if there's something that you guys are more into. Redacted, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. I also appreciate that. Thank you so much. Said, just starting to ask these people how closely related their parents are. Yeah, they got family trees that are wreaths. So yeah, we got to watch out for that.
And thank you, Tara, for the 100 for the both of us, saying she didn't know who to send it to. But I love you both, and I love this new format. Thank you, Ari and Polly.
W's in the chat for Tara.
We're the best.
Thank you so much, Tara. We really appreciate that. Huge W's in the chat for Tara. That is absolutely amazing. I really appreciate that. All right, y'all. We are going to keep this thing moving. We're going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to let Ari go ahead and answer this one. And, we'll get someone on the call, and then I got to take a step away for a second.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, my fault. Sorry, y'all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out as we try to figure this thing out. as we're just getting this kind of thing kind of moving. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Can we get this thing up to, we're almost at 300,000 likes over on TikTok. Can we get, actually, let's just go straight to 350, please. I really appreciate that. And make sure if you guys are in the other chats, you guys are hitting that like button also. Thank you. Hello, how are you? Goodbye. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
you're here.
I'm live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say something. I'm not a Trump supporter at all, but no matter who you are in the world, Trump supporter, Biden supporter, Kamala supporter, I don't care. I hope everyone on this screen has a great New Year's, and I hope that this next coming year will be filled with much prosperity.
All right, man.
thank
Well,
you.
sounds great, man. I hope you have a wonderful New Year also. I appreciate that.
Happy New Year.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Awesome.
How old are you?
Yeah, we're not doing this, bro. How old are you?
How old are you? What's the
All right,
problem?
have a good one. Bye. All right, we'll just wait for the next caller. I'm not doing this. If we can't get through the singular question of how old are you, then I'm not playing this with this live. It just feels like it's going to be way too much of a hassle. How about you try coming back when you're a little bit more grown, okay? And we'll work on it from there. But I am not going to sit here and do this.
Just the weird incapability of answering direct question
Yeah,
always
how
throws
old are
me
you?
off.
It's not a trick fucking question. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's weird over there. Let's see if we got anyone over in the TikTok chat. I don't think we have anyone.
I
know we
don't
had a
think
few earlier.
anyone has tried to request on TikTok.
Yeah, I saw a couple earlier, but we were in the middle of that first call. Hello, how are you? Are people okay?
No, they did that on my
People are having a rough time over here. Are they? I'm gonna try this one more time. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
20.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Why does that matter?
Because that's what the point of the live is. Yes or no answer.
Yeah.
All right, why is that?
He just seems like a good dude.
I'm sorry, what?
Thoughts and vibes.
Thoughts and vibes?
He
He
seems
said
like
he
means
seems
both.
like a good dude.
In my fifis?
Do you
Huh?
want to go surfing with him?
Serving USA.
Yeah, sounds fun.
I just feels like
All right,
that.
I'm already over this call. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
One more time?
How old are you?
18.
Where year were you born?
And you failed.
And he hung up on his own, like
It's
admitting
like,
the
dude, like-
failure of not being
Like
able
I
to
said,
complete math.
it doesn't really bother me that the 18-year-olds call in. It does bother me the inability to do quick math. That does actually quite scare me. Hello, how are you?
Doing good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why is that?
Well, while I was sitting here waiting to call in, I came up with 36 reasons why, but I started getting bored of coming up reasons why I support him, and I came up with some reasons why you guys support him over here. Are you interested?
Why we support him?
I got 12 of them right here.
6 is a lot.
Yeah, okay. 12 reasons why you say that Polly and I support Trump. This will be interesting. I literally have a notebook and a pen. I will be taking notes, so can you take it a little slow for me?
All right. So first of all, I'm a sales specialist, so I'm kind of in the market of convincing people to do things, but I'm not very good at it. So some of these it may sound, so don't quote me as a professional, but I do make a lot of money doing this. So here we go. First of all, antagonistic arguments. Secondly, rage bait. Third, propagate division where it doesn't exist. Now that one actually, no, let's cross that one off. I don't have notes on that one. Insulting the caller's intelligence. Like, how are you going to convince them to see your point of view if you're just going to, insult theirs? How does that work? Oh, you also had a pretty wicked cackle there a second ago when the guy was going off, and I don't know
Okay,
what
so
he was about, but
specifically my laugh. Okay, I'm gonna write down Ari's laugh. This is
it
great.
it was a mean cackle. I'm gonna remember it. That's why
Oh,
I
he
subscribed.
specifically said cackle. Let me make sure I modify that.
So, and then also, if you're going to gaslight somebody to get what you want out of them, like, you shouldn't make it obvious that you're gaslighting them. Like, there, you got to lead them into it a little bit more. But when you do it openly and you're like just going down to insult someone's intelligence, like, why would you want to do something for somebody that makes you feel retarded? Like, I like people that make me feel smart, but why would you do something for somebody that makes you feel stupid? Like, I feel like that's the biggest point of you guys supporting Trump right here.
Okay. I'm at 5 because you took one off your list, so I'm awaiting the other 7.
Yeah, okay. So not attempting an attempt to bridge understanding. Now, we might need to take that one off too. I don't have notes on that one either. Mocking understanding or agreement. That's the big one. That's one I've seen you guys do a lot. Distracting counter arguments when you have to go off on a tangent when somebody's actually on something. Condescending tone, like, you will write this down right now. Like, look at me when I'm talking. See, where are we getting with that? Not really anywhere. It's not a good sale. And then I guess the other two I kind of threw out there. Okay, maybe you got like 6 or 7 A, but you're spreading MAGA and most of your viewers are Republicans. So what are you doing?
Most of our viewers are Republican. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a new one on me.
Yeah, that's
I'm looking
new.
at chat here.
One singular chat. Are you aware that there's 4?
Oh, there's 4 chats? Shit. I only
Yeah.
got YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah, there's 2 on YouTube actually.
Well, there's only one of me, so
I will
you gotta
say,
work
like,
with
if
that.
you are upset that Republicans are following us, I think it's a little bit strange, even though I do sometimes encourage hate followers.
Hold on real quick. Mute real quick.
I didn't say I was upset.
Guys, I don't kick people for saying the N-word to me. I let them do it. Okay? So everyone can calm down. I don't kick people for any of the slurs that they do. Okay? I don't do it. All right? Because guess what? Those people that say those slurs are the people that are voting against you. Okay? Those are the people. They are the people. All right? Those are the people we are trying to fight against. All right? That is how this works. Okay? If I kick everybody that says a slur, then I'm going to kick everybody who has a different, who's voting on the other side, that votes with Charlie Kirk, that votes with Stephen Miller, that votes with Donald Trump. Because guess what? They all use the R slur. They all use the N. They all use the. What do you mean? Who uses the N word? Veronica, I get called the N word 50 times a night, and I
think
still
she
don't
just
kick
means
them.
today, and
Oh,
we
not today.
did get one today.
We did get one today.
It was a kid.
Yeah.
It was a literal child.
Okay? All of these people are frustrating. I hear them say it, okay? It's horrible, okay? It is. It's a horrible thing, okay? I agree with you that it is horrible, okay? We're just going to keep going, all right? Because we have to be able to talk to people, even people that use terminology and slurs that we don't like. We have to be able to have conversations even with those people that use terminology and slurs that we don't like. Because how else are we going to move the conversation forward? All right? If not by talking to exactly those people. Okay? So I just wanted to address that in the live. And for you guys that are around me, like, I don't kick for any of that stuff. Okay? You'll hardly ever even hear me acknowledge it, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay.
I would much rather destroy their arguments. Don't worry about that. Sorry, not trying to attack anybody in the chat. I saw it over a whole bunch of my chats, and I just wanted to address it real quick. Okay, that's the way I feel about it. I apologize if you guys don't like that. Okay.
Caller, don't stress it. It's fine.
You said you said the R slur. Okay, you said a slur that was derogatory to people with disabilities in this country. Okay.
Oh my God! So that's like one of these numbers that I got. Like, why be caring over something like that?
Why be caring about disparaging people? Here's why, okay? Because it adds to the inhumanity of the way that we treat people, right? It is the same terminology that we use against, that like when Donald Trump says that immigrants are vermin or that they're poisoning the blood of the United States, right? When he talks to a female
He
reporter and
didn't
he
say
calls
that.
her Miss Piggy, right? It's the exact terminology that puts people underneath you. You're saying that people with disabilities are underneath you. You're saying
No,
that people
you're
of other
making
races.
it seem like you're above them. That's you
I'm
doing
making it
that.
seem
That's
like it's
not me.
above
I'm
them by
just saying
saying
what
just
it
don't call
is.
them
And now you're
derogatory
saying that makes
terms.
them beneath you. See, you're the one that's being derogatory towards them. Same with your
Hmm.
callers.
Oh, so how am I doing that?
Oh, also, I don't know if you heard me write this down, but he specifically pointed out my cackle.
That's that was actually the number one reason. That was like Kamala Harris's
What's
tan
that
suit.
ooh for, boy?
Was
Like,
her
what are you trying to do
Tansu.
here? Like, how is that getting me to agree with you? We're
Did
getting
you just call
back
me
into the
boy
sales
too?
part of this.
Oh shit.
You
Yeah, you
want to
gotta
Oh,
add that
that
convince
to the
would
me
be a
to
list.
be
strike against him.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I do have 10 out of 12. Is that right? One, two. Well, he did take
Well, you
this
got
one
to
out
add
as
boy to the
well.
list too. The
But
the
that's
the racist. I don't even think that's a microaggression. That's like a macroaggression at that point,
so
right?
I think that goes along with the slurs. So we'll just add that on
Okay, yeah. I
there
just kind of put a
for,
little put a little slash on that one.
yeah.
You think you're
This
making
is
up
this
more
is
things to put
informative.
Yeah, right.
yourself
I'm learning
down?
so
Like, what's the
much.
point of that?
I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry. What
what?
was that?
It's like you're taking completely normal things and making it seem like that's a bad thing. Like all this pandering. Like,
No, no, no.
what are
You're
you
taking
doing this
completely
for?
bad things and trying to normalize it. It's the other way around. Yeah, I'm taking the bad things you're
You're
saying,
the
right, and
racist.
I'm pointing it out. You're taking the bad things you're saying and trying to
No,
normalize them, right? And when we
you're
normalize
saying
bad
normal things
language,
and
all
then you're
right,
being
that's
a
how we
racist.
subjugate people.
Wait. I'm actually genuinely curious. How is pointing out your use of the R word, right? Polly being racist. I need you to break this down. How is that racism?
No, okay, maybe racism isn't the right word, but there's an ism about it for sure. Like you just
No,
like
you
normal people are
utilizing
retarded,
the
and then
so
you make it seem like that makes
okay,
you better than
caller,
them for
can
some
I get your
reason.
name or just a
Excuse
name
me?
that you want me to call you? I don't want to just
What?
keep calling you caller. Is there a name that you can go by?
My name's Mary.
Murray? Okay.
Mary. Merry.
Oh, like Christmas. Okay, that's cool. So the term that you're looking for is ableism. You saying the R slur twice now is actually ableism. You
Yeah,
are
but you're racist.
dehumanizing. You are dehumanizing individuals with disabilities that would qualify under what used to be called that under that slur that has been that's been discontinued from use except for individuals such as yourself. Now you just called me racist because I'm pointing out your ableist behavior. How am I racist?
Because earlier you said you lacked DEI.
Because I like DEI, you're missing a letter in the acronym. If you were listening, you should know what that is.
The diversity, equity, and inclusion.
There's a letter you're missing. What is it? What's the letter you're missing?
Not in my work group, no. So maybe you're on something different. But I tell you what, either one of those isn't a
I
good thing
tell
because
you
why are you
what.
better
I
than them?
tell you what. Oh, I tell
It's
you what.
it's A for accessibility. I really want to get back into normalizing that if you don't know the answer to a question, please just say, I don't know. It's always the acceptable answer if you don't know. Okay. So, what
Well,
is
maybe I just don't want to
DEIA
give you
taking
what you
away from
want
you,
because
and
you want.
how is
Why would I
DEIA
want to give you
racist?
anything that you want with the way you talk to me? Hmm?
I'm literally
So
engaging with you right now. How is me, a white woman who has directly benefit from DEIA policies, racist? And who am I being racist towards?
black people.
Can't wait for this one. This should be great.
Out of curiosity, Mary, what is the color of your skin?
Black.
Ah,
Over my
I'm
fucking
Italian,
dead
though.
body, this guy is fucking black. Over my fucking dead, this dude, this.
Are you judging me now?
Statistically
Yes, I am
speaking,
100% judging you. I am always judging everyone all the time. Yes.
statistically speaking, I know that area code. I know what state it is, and I know the area it is. He's white.
Just statistically.
Yes,
Statistically, he's white.
I know that exact area that falls within that area code. The demographics is about 70% white people, not including Hispanics in that number. I know that exact area code, that exact area that you're calling from. Don't play me.
See, now
There was-
you two
there
are
was
the ones
literally
judging me by my
one
skin
black
color.
person
so,
in
see,
my
that's
entire
another way.
school.
I
His
can't.
name was
I can't
Stacy.
be racist. Like, see, I'm not
Clinton
racist
Bigsby is
enough to
wild.
be on the left.
And also, what is this accent?
No
You don't
good
even sound
breathing
like you're
all the
from
white
there.
man's air.
This accent's not even from that area code. Like, did you make a fake number? Which is totally valid if you did.
They stank.
Did you
They
make a
think
fake
they're
number?
the best dancers.
Also,
I'm just too happy to be a liberal. Like, what's
oh, this is an interesting.
you guys are
debate.
so angry all the time. You guys here on the phones,
Is that
getting
why I was
cranky,
laughing?
getting mad, cackling to be like,
Oh, no,
I'm right,
cackling.
and now it makes that's what you're
Hi,
living off
Summer.
of. Like,
Oh
shoot.
no! Should I
don't know
laugh
how
again
you
for
guys
you?
do
It
it.
seems
I'm
to
impressed,
trigger
if
you
anything.
so much.
Like, if you guys could
Hey,
stay angry for this long,
Mary, I
like,
just want to
live
let
to be
you
pissed
know
off, like, how do
I
you
am
guys do it?
unfortunately too clumsy to be around your fragile masculinity that you feel emasculated by my laugh. So just for you, can you tell me a joke, Polly, to make me laugh real quick?
And I don't do jokes on this. I'm not a fucking comedian over here. What do I look like? I'm just, why'd the chicken cross
Why
the
couldn't
road?
the
I don't have
bicycle
anything.
stand up by itself?
Just do-
Can somebody say something funny in the chat? I will try to read it specifically on TikTok.
Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself?
It didn't have a kickstand.
It was too tired.
Stupid.
I think normally I would laugh at that, but I'm just like already offended by that question. But he's so upset by my laugh. What did that laugh upset you right there?
So let me ask you a question, sir. Here's my big question. Why do you feel like you need to come up here and just lie and shit, right? Like you're
I came
lying, you're
over here to buy
obviously
a
saying
flat
things to
screen
be...
TV, and y'all are trying to insult me to get me to buy it.
No, sir, I'm not
Like, how are you
trying to
convincing me
insult
to
you.
be a
I am
liberal right
succeeding.
now?
Okay? I am not trying to insult you. I am succeeding. I am very, very outwardly insulting you. Okay? If you can't figure that out, then that's your inability to comprehend insults. Okay? I am directly insulting you.
Why are you so mad?
I'm not mad.
We're
What do you-
happy.
you just said you're mad.
I'm so sorry.
Color has stolen color. Yo, y'all are on one today, bro.
Oh my god.
Stolen color is wild.
But
Oh my goodness.
holy crap. So, you said you were taking notes on this list that you gave us. So, condescending tone. Who has it and when did I use it?
I think we already went over and beat that horse.
No, we didn't
enough.
at
That
all.
horse needs a dang break. How about some more items on here if I'm a Republican? Like, okay,
wait,
like,
can you
I'm
remind
not
me? I did
trans,
ask you a
first of
question
all.
earlier. Did you create a number to call in?
Create a number.
Oh, he doesn't know how to do that. Okay, we've solved that issue. He doesn't know how to do that.
All right, Cletus. I think this conversation is over. I think I'd like to be mentally stimulated by fucking anything grass growing, paint drying, anything I think would be more mentally
Well,
stimulating than this.
Have fun being a racist, then.
I will, sir. I'm gonna have
Please.
so much fucking fun. Actually, it
That's-
is Monday. It is Polly Be Racist Day, so I think I'll definitely tap into that. So that
That
should
doesn't
be good.
flow with the M in Monday. Isn't it
It
supposed to be
doesn't-
like based off the M or whatever? I can't make one with my hands. I'm failing.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Louise, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Sorry, I saw Ari post that up. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Thank you
Is that
so
it?
much, Louise. I really appreciate that. Adding to the team. Thank you guys so much for being part of our team. Make sure you guys are joining the respective Discords. And so you know when we go live. And make sure you guys that are following, make sure you have those notifications turned on so you know when we're doing that. And Tara, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. I see a few more in there. We're gonna get to that. I'm gonna take this caller while I can, that we can get this thing started. But I really appreciate that. But thank you so much, Tara. I'm gonna leave your message up there for a bit. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hello, Paulie. Hang on, let me turn the live off. Is this you? Do I got you?
Yep.
This
You've got
Paulie?
Polly and Ari. What's up?
Oh my gosh, hey there, what's up? I'm not a Trump supporter. I just caught you guys on, and I just wanted to call and tell you both I love you, and I appreciate everything you do. I've been
Thank
in-
you.
Thank you so
I've
much.
been
I
in the
appreciate you, man.
This is
All right.
3 of the bunch. So I just wanted to say thank you.
We appreciate
W.
that, man. Thank you so much. Have a good one. All right.
Bye.
Hello.
Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
Hello. All right, if I don't hear anything, Tara, thank you so much. Said thank you so much, very much for helping this military brat learn more about these matters and for the aging veterans in my life. Hashtag Marine Fathers, hashtag keep teaching. We will do our best. I really appreciate that, Tara. Thank you so much. Phantom, thank you so much for that also. Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Polly. Hi, Ari. I just wanted to say hey, and you're really cool, and
Hey.
I'm loving the new setup. So, yeah, you guys are doing great, per usual.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, all right?
Bye.
Bye. Hello, how are you?
Yo, what's up, bro? This Polly.
And Ari.
Oh, I know it, bro. I just want to say I'm big time fans, first time talkers, man. I love hearing what y'all have to say, bro. Like I hear these fucking stupid ass crackers calling in, bro, and I'm like, man, we need to take all the fuck.
All right, guys. All right. I think we're getting a little too comfortable over here.
Holy shit.
Goodness gracious.
W.
Goodness. Holy shit.
I
Thank
don't
you so
mean,
much.
I don't
Phantom.
mind being called a cracker. Unfortunately, I am a saltine complexion. So.
That. Woo. All right. Look, guys, I said I don't like necessarily block people at slur, but I don't exactly
Yeah, your camera just loves adjusting.
No,
off
I think
you.
I actually adjusted. I think that's actually how that happened. I think I got a little more comfortable in there. Young Crasher, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. It says, I love
This
seeing
is
both of you guys
amazing.
live together. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Glad you guys are enjoying the new format for a little bit. Angry, thank you so much for the $2. Says it stands for Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh yeah, when you mentioned that earlier.
RDR.
I know people ask me that. I think I've been very clear. I do not play open world games. They frustrate me. I like structure.
Structure.
Yeah, I like structure.
What is
I like to,
that?
Legendary, thank you so much for the one bit. So they don't understand rules or consent or any of those other things. Yeah, I've kind of noticed that. CB, thank you so much for the Merry New Year. Mary for Mary over there. And Pio, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Says wasn't sure who to send this to. I listen to a lot of political influence, but you two are my political influencers, but you two are my favorites. Please use this for a fun date night. I think we can manage that, right? I think we can manage a fun date night out of that. Thank you so much.
Incredibly doable. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
Huge W's in the chat for Pio Symbols over here for the free date night that we just received with that $50 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is absolutely huge.
Oh, hey, that'll be Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll do a little we'll do some Korean or something, man. We'll yeah, we'll get it on Friday. Oh yeah, thank you so much. All right, I guess we'll leave that up there for a second. We had some phone calls while I was going through some super chats. We'll see if they pop back up. If they don't, we will keep this thing moving. I really appreciate that. All right, let's see what we got over here too.
Oh.
And of course.
Well, I mean, I can disconnect if needed. So.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How old are you?
27.
Oh, you answered first time this time. Congratulations. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Huh?
I was surprised you remembered a phone number.
Yeah, it's also color coded.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, Mr. 27-year-old, do you still support Trump?
Not really, but
why are y'all so offended about the word retard being used to describe y'all?
First of all, sir, I don't get offended, and I believe Ari doesn't either, sir. As we've
I
been doing,
think
sir,
he might, sir. I think he kind of
sir,
do sometimes.
sir. I'm
Sir,
speaking.
I wasn't done. Sir, I
I'm
wasn't done
still
yet.
speaking.
It just seems
Look,
like
sir, I
y'all
understand that you're
conflate
all in your feelings,
being
okay?
called retarded with being somebody
Hey,
who's got
little
a
guy.
something
Hey,
wrong with their brain.
hey,
By the
hey.
way, said by the person that was incapable of answering a direct
I
question
know, he
about their
literally got
age
offended
twice.
by what is your age and cried and ran
I
away, but apparently
answered.
we're offended. Oh,
This
this time, but
time,
last
No, I
time
just wanted to
I
know
literally
how
had to
old
hang
you
up.
were. It's just a
Sir,
weird question to ask
well, you
somebody
can
out the
ask me.
gate.
Well, sir, do you understand
TikTok
why I have
terms
to
of
ask that?
service.
Okay, hold on one second. Sorry, what did you say?
Well, you don't understand why I have to ask that?
I don't understand why you have to
Yeah,
ask
because
that
I'm on
now.
social media platforms that require the age of you to be the age of 18 to be on here. So I have to ask your
Oh, are you
age to
checking
confirm
their
that you're over
ID?
the age of 18. So don't get all
But
butthurt
are
or
you
think it's
checking their
something
ID
special.
though,
Sir,
sir?
this is
Sir,
the
but are you
last chance
checking
that,
their ID?
sir.
I don't think you understand. You're not checking their.
All right, cool. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate your inability to be an adult, okay? But I don't get offended at shit you say, sir. And honestly and truthfully, I've been doing this for way too long, and I've been called every single name under the book multiple times a day. I could not give a shit what you guys call me, okay? But disparaging, marginalized communities is not okay. It doesn't offend me. You can call me whatever, truthfully. Doesn't hurt my feelings in the slightest. Honestly, I don't even hear it half the time. It just goes in one ear, out the other. But for other people's sake is why we have an issue with it, okay? Not everything is directly about us. We're not like MAGA that only can possibly, all right, think about themselves and about no one else. Hello, how are you?
Hi, so
First of all, get
Get in the same
way
zip
closer to your
code as
yeah,
your phone.
same fucking area code, bro.
all right, so yeah, first of all, you see
Much
my number,
better.
yeah, Hill Satan, right? Second of all, I actually,
I honestly didn't hear first of all at all.
I did.
What was-
First of all,
yeah,
Hail
yeah,
Satan.
He's
yeah, I was
Satan?
talking about my number. You
Hail
know how
Satan.
you,
Oh, first of all,
yeah,
hail Satan. Yes,
Satan.
I agree. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan!
What's second of all?
What's
Yo,
the second? Sorry.
Dude, I just want to say I love your guys' show, man. Every time
thank you
I
so
hear it, I'm
much. I
like,
appreciate
we need the
that.
Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro. Every time I watch your show, I'm like, man, we need to go Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, because, fuck, dude, these guys are a fucking menace to society. We need to put them all in a camp, and we need to fucking get rid of them. Same with all the Zionists. Fucking free Palestine, you know.
Nope. I do not condone political violence.
It's gonna be real hard to put Charlie Kirk in a camp.
I know we haven't read it, but I want to go ahead and say thank you, Huey, for saying that you love my laugh. I appreciate that.
Anyways, Aslan, thank you so much for the 50 bits. I appreciate that. So the term cracker comes the days of cotton fields. The guys and the horses were known as crackers. It has nothing to do with skin color, but slavery. Well, those people on the horse, they were white. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Bria, thank you so much for the $2. Said totally embarrassed. So glad you answered. Love you. Thank you so much, Bria. I appreciate that.
Aw, you're so
And
sweet.
Huey says, love your cackle. I don't even know who she's talking about. That could be literally either of us. So,
Ari, comma, I love your cackle.
oh, that's right. I didn't read the whole thing. That's on me. I read it and then forgot it already. All right. Don't worry about me, okay? I'm over here doing my own thing. All right. I'm in my own little zone over here. We don't worry about me, okay? We don't worry about me. You guys should all be worried about me all the time. All right. And a cup of Joe Biden. Thank you so much for the 100. I really appreciate that. Just cuz, really appreciate that. Y'all should constantly be worried about me. I am an issue. I am a whole problem.
Oh, that's a sad fact.
Yes, they weren't correct, but that doesn't mean that the terminology didn't come to mean white people, okay? Just because of where something originates doesn't mean that it doesn't move to that. I think it's a bad slur anyway. Okay? I think we could come up with much better ones. I like the mayonnaise people.
I'm the color of paper. Guys, hold on. Tell me this.
Well, I'm saying you guys
Spot the difference.
It's the color, and you guys like it a lot. I don't know.
There is no difference. I am a ghost.
I'm just saying I don't like mayonnaise. I don't know what you guys got this whole like.
Mayonnaise is gross.
It is really gross.
Okay, random fact. People like it when I say mayonnaise, and I have no idea why.
Say it again.
Mayonnaise.
Oh yeah, that's gross. I don't like the way you said that. Yeah.
Say it better.
Mayonnaise. It's mayonnaise.
It's mayonnaise.
It's mayonnaise.
It's mayonnaise.
No, it's not. It's mayonnaise.
You should click on Jen's because that's a valid question. And hands down,
Yeah, not even a fucking question. It's not even in the question. I absolutely I'm the fucking cook.
and
I cook like a motherfucker, dude.
he does. He does. And Crow wants to point out it's because I pronounce every syllable fully.
She
I'm aware
does.
I do it. I'm just very.
Yeah. I 100% go. I did.
No,
Ooh, you
Tara,
should've seen
I'm
what
saying
I cooked last night.
mayonnaise.
Ooh.
Ooh, that
Hello, how
was
are you?
so good. Okay, bye, Pennsylvania.
I don't even like the word mayonnaise. Dr. V, I'm kind of with you. Oh, it's caramel.
Caramel.
Yeah, knew that was coming. It's caramel.
Is he still calling?
Yeah, he needs a friend. So I'm gonna force him to one.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, caller, and I'm gonna give this advice, everybody. If you need a friend, I just want to let you know you're welcome to call us in at the first time. You can call us the first time, but you can actually rent a friend online. Look it up. Or if you want to be that friend that gets paid for your time, sign up to be one.
I'm pretty sure Elon Musk has like a AI friend now that you can.
Probably.
Yeah, they won't even hate you like those real people would. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How about you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I seen this number and I want.
I seen this number. I seen it.
Someone asked me about the word pecan.
Pecan.
So here, this is gonna throw everyone off. Okay, so it's pecan. Okay, unless it's pie. It is.
I can't argue that one.
Pecan pie. All right.
I can't argue that one.
I'm sorry. It's pecan. If I'm just talking about that, if it's pie, it's pecan pie. I'm sorry.
I'm
It
not
just
even
is.
arguing
And
that.
I have no explanation, and I will not be taking questions. Okay. So I don't. Yeah, it's pecan pie. It's pecan pie. 100%.
There is no argument for me on that one, okay? Like, listen, guys, he gets mad when I sometimes say salmon. He just made the I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry.
Solomon. That's gross, dude.
I can't help the way
That's
that I
fucking gross. Thank you so much, Jen.
do. I say egg weird? I get that all the time too.
Which one?
Egg.
Yeah, you sound like egg.
He says it the same.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, this is the wrong number.
All right, man.
Okay.
Hold on. The pronunciation of. Did you just called again? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Did you call the wrong number again? I don't think this person's right. The pronunciation of mayonnaise changed to the phenomenon called whatever that word is.
Cinerasis.
Cinerasis? Is that right?
I'm about ready to ask Google.
Ari is correct in traditional speak. You mean old speak. I'm not old. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They in old speak, the front of the
Ready?
car is the bonnet, right?
Cinerasis.
I was
That was
right.
good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'll give it to you. I'll give it. You're not correct though.
The contraction of two vowels into a what the
Hey, yo,
diphthong.
I'm just saying free Palestine.
W. So syneresis, for those that don't know, the definition is the contraction of two vowels into a diphthong or single vowel. It literally says diphthong.
That's not a real word. Thank
Apparently
you so
it
much,
is.
Requiem. I appreciate that. That's not a real word. I don't. That's not a real. It's a diphthong. It's not. That's not a real word. Brandy, thank you so much for the $10 that I can't with these people. LOL, love y'all. I really appreciate
A
that. Thank
sound
you so much.
formed by the combination of two vowels in a single syllable. It's a real word.
It's not. You're lying.
And it's, hold on.
I don't care what it says. It's not real.
And I
Okay.
pronounced it correctly too.
I am refusing to believe that that's a real word, and I do not, guys. I'm not asking your guys' opinion. Okay, I don't care what your opinion is or what Google says. It's not a real word. Okay. Diphthong, thong, thong, thong. Gene, thank you so much for the $2. It says, so is fuck off limits? No. So is fuck off limit? I don't understand. I don't understand. Parker says that weird word is a real word. As a
She
linguistics
did
nerd
leave
over a
off a letter,
decade,
though.
it is real and it is perfect and it is wrong and it should not exist. And I,
Well, while I have to say W Parker's in the chat, but also Parker's, it's DIPHTHONG because Google told me.
yeah, you see, you guys are using this thing called like logic and evidence, and I'm using my feelings. Okay. I get to be, look, I get to have my MAGA moments also, just on not things that are important, right? Like they do it over like women's ability to get healthcare, and I do it about words that I don't believe should exist. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my fifis on this. Okay, I'm gonna use no empirical data whatsoever. I'm gonna use no evidence. I'm gonna use no data, and I'm just gonna decide this word doesn't exist. Okay.
I'm going to read Chuck's comment because this was great. English is 3 languages wearing a trench coat pretending to be one. It's weird.
I saw that in a comment, something like that. I saw that on something at one point. I don't even remember where it was at. Anyways, not important. Regardless of any of that. All right, y'all. I think it's about time we call it a night. We've been on for what? I think 2 hours and 45. Yeah, that sounds good. We got on a little late, and we were planning on doing 3 hours, but we'll definitely have to do this again very soon. I don't know when. I don't know. We might do it. We'll talk. We might do it tomorrow. We might do it later. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure it out, guys.
Yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll do it again. But this was a lot of fun. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys all so much for the support, for super chats, for everything on the pay links, for all of those things. Decline. I'm done. Anyways, thank you guys so much for everything. I really appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, follow the other profiles. I really appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Love you guys.